Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
All right, happy Wednesday. Speaking of Wednesday, Get Off My Lawn coming your way at 10:45, my favorite segment that we do. Also, the latest from Tom Brady. Tom Brady, the Thomas Brady, was on with Brock and Salk earlier this morning.
I call him Tomas.
Tomas,
Yeah.
Tomas Brady. One of the most famous people on the planet was on with our morning show, Brock and Salk. So we've got the latest from him coming up at 10:30. Before we get to any of that, though, we have to talk about this. I was thinking about it last night, and I was thinking, the Seahawks have never really had a step back. Think about it. Let's say since John Schneider and Pete have been here, right?
Mm-hmm.
They finished in fourth place once, I think. There's been no rebuild. There's been I think what it was is I was seeing all these coaching hires and thinking about all the teams like the Titans that are going to have to figure it all out, and kind of a lot of the teams, the Jets, starting from the bottom. And I was just thinking, like, man, what the Patriots did was so impressive. And then I was like, yeah, the Seahawks were never there. The Seahawks in 15 years, they haven't been that, like, 4-win team that turns it around. Again, credit to what New England did. But, like, the Seahawks, for a long while, every single year, the expectation has been, yeah, we're going to get to and win the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
That's the expectation. Whether or not you think we're going to do it, that is the stated expectation from the top down. That's the goal. But it's been 11 years since they were here. So I thought it would be fun to talk about, well, what makes this 2025 team different from other previous Seahawks teams, including Seahawks playoff teams? There have been many Seahawks playoff teams, a 3-year stretch of at least 10 wins in a playoff appearance, in which they have one playoff win combined, right? So what makes this team different? What's one thing, Bump, that stands out to you when you think of all of basically like the Carroll Schneider era and then last year's McDonald team? Think of all those teams who entered the year with the expectation of getting to and winning a Super Bowl. And in 11 years, none of them did. What makes this one different?
Let me say one thing first. Russell Wilson showed up on my algorithm last night, and someone put together a highlight of his best plays. Don't sleep on Russell.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't forget, but I was for sure reminded how magical that dude was in his prime.
I think people need a refresher.
It's stupid. Like, go look at Russell Wilson's highlights. It was crazy. Anyway, what's different with this team? There's a youthfulness with this team that's a bit different, right? You have the Sherman, Doug Baldwin, Earl. I feel like that youthfulness was more old school, more rugged. More, I got an old soul type of old school. Youthfulness. It was like 1960s youthfulness, like no auto-tune. Record player type. We're going to grind this thing out.
We're smoking cigarettes.
Exactly. We're smoking cigarettes and cigars and we're drinking whiskey. With this team, there's a different type of youthfulness. There is not like an innocence, but kind of like they're so confident. It almost comes off as they could be naive to how important this is or the great things that they're doing, which they're not naive, but that's just the way that it feels. This youthfulness just feels a bit different. And maybe it's generational. Maybe there's these 25-year-olds are just raised different than or come up different than the 25-year-olds of the past. And there's a confidence, but a humbleness at the same time. And I think that's kind of where these guys are similar. I think the confidence with that old team, the Sherman team, Sherman led the charge when it comes to the cockiness and the confidence. Whereas our superstar, I would say JSN at this point, has a different type of confidence and cockiness. It's a bit more humble. It's just different, man. Like there have to be some similarities because this is football, and there are some things to be true. You got to be tough. You got to be relentless. You got to be resilient. But just the vibe of this team is a more cheerful youthfulness, to whereas that old school youthfulness was like rugged and mean.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that answer. I was thinking related to like team chemistry, there just being great chemistry, right? Like a team that really, really gets along. And I remember asking Bob about it, Bob Condotta, when he joined us yesterday. And I said, I didn't cover 2013. So 2012-13 when like everyone was getting along too. And Bob did. And so he said, look, that's how everyone felt when Russell Wilson hit the scene and he had his coming out moment against Chicago. And it was, a young Russell Wilson, very, very exciting. They hadn't won a Super Bowl yet. Everyone was getting along. Everyone gets along when you're winning. So he said, I don't know that I'd read a ton into that alone, but I will say that there is a really healthy respect that they have for Sam Darnold and a defensive-ness that they have of him, because the rest of the league was questioning him all year long, and internally, in-house, they'd had enough of it. So that was kind of cool to hear. I felt that one of the things that stood out to me was, and I can't wait to hear you talk about this, an on-field product and execution that matched the philosophy. There have been many great Seahawks accomplishments. In 2018, they led the league in rushing yards per game. That year actually ended with the let Russ cook kind of becoming a thing against the Dallas Cowboys in that wild card game. But that year they led the league in rushing yards. But for being a team that otherwise was like, we want to run the ball, they have had far too many seasons where they had money wrapped up in top receiver contracts, where they did not invest in the trenches, where they were an objectively bad rushing team, as they were the year prior in 2017, when just one running back had a rushing touchdown and no single running back had over 300 rushing yards. Russell Wilson was about 98% of the offense. Now, as a result, they've had a season in 2022 when two separate wide receivers, Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf, had 1,000 yards apiece. The first time they'd done that since 1995, I believe Blades and Galloway, and just the second time in franchise history. The 2020 squad was the best in franchise history in points scored, until obviously it was surpassed in 2025. But this 2025 team, in addition to being a high-scoring unit, and in addition to being a unit with a 1,700-yard receiver, said, we want to run the ball. And did it. And Bump, you talked about it. The efficiency has come up in the last month or so, but wire to wire, the attempts were there.
All right, you went a whole different place.
I know.
You went numbers, okay? Let's go numbers now then. I just went off a straight vibe. Like, it just feels different over here, you know?
Look, I'm going to run the gamut.
Actually, in 1972, when the ball first was shaped with the pigskin, she went deep. All right, let's do it.
No, but do you agree? I say it because I know you've talked about it, and you can go on fives, but I know that you've got numbers too. It's just that how many times have we heard them say, we want to run the ball, we want to do this, we want to do that, and then they weren't that team. Right?
Yeah.
Even little things. You could apply it to a philosophy of, we're going to get Jimmy Graham, but then you're not going to use him, right? Like, the philosophy and execution just has been a mismatch in so many different ways for this team, but now it's not. You want to run the ball? You ran that dang ball. Even when it wasn't working, you were running that ball this year.
I think this is the best coordinator they've had since back in the day when they won a Super Bowl.
Ooh.
I think Shoddy came out and made the pass game prolific, right? Russell Wilson throwing for 4,000 yards, having games where he throws for 400, breaking franchise records when it comes to passing the ball. But there was really no balance in the run, like you just mentioned. Then you get Grubb. So who's been? It's been Bevel, Shoddy, Grubb. Now
Waldron.
Waldron was in that piece too. Waldron, that was a mess. This is the most connected the offense has felt since Bevel.
Yeah.
And they've had offenses that put up a whole bunch of points. They've had offenses that throw the ball across the yard. You've had glimpses of run games with Chris Carson when he was doing his thing. But this is the first offense to where you feel like, all right, we can do whatever we want to do. We can run the rock. It took a while to get to that point where you feel like you can run the rock. But now you feel like you can run the rock. You can throw the football. This is probably – Shoddy's been in the game a long time, but Kubiak feels like the old soul when it comes to calling plays, right? Shoddy felt like the exciting one. You know, we're going to toss the ball down the field. Kubiak has a more mature approach, I feel like, to calling the ball game. He understands how to pack a team in, run the football. We've seen screens have been successful for the first time, and I don't know how long that we've seen. There is a short game. There is a down-the-field type of game. It just feels a bit more balanced. Shoddy was explosive and fun to watch. This feels a bit more balanced.
Well, I feel like, and Waldron, I thought of Waldron as being like that more, because I think it was it Waldron's offense or Schottenheimer's that was 2020? I'm blanking. I can't remember. Either one. That was the high scoring.
That was
like
Shoddy.
30. Shoddy?
Yeah.
So that was like 30 points per game through the first half of the season, and then they kind of fell apart. So it's misrepresentative a little bit of how efficient that offense was. But let's isolate Grubb. Last year, you talked about that Arizona game in particular, loving what they were doing, and then wanting to see concepts be built off of that.
Right.
And you felt like it wasn't.
Yeah.
Did you see that this year?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost easier to build an offense off of zone concepts instead of gap scheme.
Why?
Because it's easier to play action off of it. It's more efficient when you're play action and blocking off of it. With gap schemes, you're pulling guys. And Kubiak has done that before, right? Pull a guard, play action, go the other way, just slide the protection the other way. But it's just more solid. It's more efficient because your steps are typically the same. It looks the same to the defense, and there's less to go wrong. Once you start pulling guys and you put that in your pass pro, there's opportunities for slants to hit the gap that the guy's pulling, and disaster happens. They still do it, but the foundation is the zone. And it's such a simple concept, but if you can get guys with the right angles and the right flow, it can influence the defense like crazy. So it just seems more efficient. I love the gap scheme, and they run gap schemes. I mean, a touchdown a couple weeks ago against San Francisco, Sundell snaps the ball, he pulls around, lights a linebacker up, and K9 scores. It's still there, but when you base your offense off that wide zone or even inside zone, it's just way more efficient. Less can go wrong.
Okay, I've got some more things that feel different. What next to you? I shouldn't say feel. What's different about this team? What has led to this Seahawks team being in Super Bowl 60 in the last 11 years of, at times, very good Seahawks teams not doing that?
Defense is deep in talent. Defense is deep, man. Nicky Mawari, and you're getting contributions from young guys now, right? Nicky Mawari changes the game. Ernest Jones is a leader. You got Leo, who's the best interior defensive lineman in the game, in my opinion. You got Byron Murphy. They've done such a good job drafting defensively. Yeah. And you got to big up Pete Carroll for some of that, too. I mean, he's the one who was there for Reek. He was there for Kobe Bryant. They've done a good job transitioning from the Pete Carroll-led defense to Mike McDonald and adding some pieces of that as well while teaching the defense in a way that allows these guys to fly around and make plays. I mean, it's the defense. And I think with both of these, I guess, renditions of this defense or of the Seahawks, when you look at the LOB and MLB, they're led by the defense. Yep. And I think that's a solid way to win football games.
Completely agree. That was mine as well. Closing that personnel gap on defense. They don't have like this top-tier league leading sack getter. Like there's no Myles Garrett on this team, but they were still near the top of the league in pressures and in sacks because they've got 3 Pro Bowlers and a second-team All-Pro with Ernest Jones. They have closed that personnel gap, that talent gap that they had against some other teams in the league, and they did it without having a number 2 overall pick to take a Nick Bosa, which is really impressive. I'm going to combine it with another one of mine because it's very related. They address those dang trenches. They got to the trenches. Number 16 overall pick on Byron Murphy II. A number 18 overall pick on Gray Zabel. A guard, an interior lineman at number 18 overall. For the longest time, this team wanted to run the ball, wanted to be tough, wanted to be physical, but they tried to rebuild the Legion of Boom, and then they invested a ton of money in DK Metcalf, who was a really special receiver. Like I said, they had 2 1,000-yard receivers. That was really cool, but they got away from the trenches, really deeply investing in there, and they changed that.
And they possibly have gotten, other than Steve Largent, if he continues on this trend, could be the best receiver this franchise has ever got.
Right, you still have both.
Yeah, big up Steve Largent, big up DK, Lockett, Baldwin. He's got some work to do, but when you put together a season like he has, and you're only 23 years old, the future is bright. So they've done a good job with that as well. And, I mean, they found the quarterback. And that's how this team is operated, right? You play good defense, run the football, get a quarterback who's not super elite, but he's not average, right? Matt Hasselbeck in his prime, above average. Russell Wilson, we know he's above average. Elite at one point. And now you have Sam Darnold, but all 3 of these guys have been to a Super Bowl or going to a Super Bowl, and you're not asking them to win the ball game for you. Are they capable of doing it? Most definitely, but you're not asking them to do it. Yep. So I think that's something they have in common as well.
The last one that I had, Bump, was that it was kind of cheating. It's hard to win a Super Bowl. It's hard to get to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's ultimately like kind of the elephant in the room is like, in 2015, they were top 5 scoring offensively and defensively. Well, you couldn't make up ground in a loss to the Panthers where they pulled ahead in the first half. You nearly did. Maybe you go on to beat whoever they would have faced in the conference championship and then go to play Denver and you beat Denver in the Super Bowl and win Super Bowl 50. But you didn't. But you know what I mean? Like there have been teams where on paper you look back and you're like, dang, 2015 was good. What happened? Getting to a Super Bowl is hard.
It's tough.
It's tough,
man.
It's tough. Like Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow. Do you know how many great players there are in the league that either haven't gotten to one in the case of the former two or lost one in the case of the last.
Yeah.
Like, it's just.
Well, you think about those Super Bowl runs, right? When it comes to just giving up points, we'll start at 2012.
Yeah.
Hawks were defensively first, third, and then you go on a drought. You go 13th, 11th, 22nd, 15th, 11th, 25th, 25th, 11th, first. It all starts with that defense, man. It all starts with that defense. That's the formula over here in Seattle.
I agree. Gear up for the big game at Simply Seattle. Shop official Seahawks playoff gear and custom Simply Seattle original designs. You can shop in-store or online and enter to win a $1,000 shopping spree now at simplyseattle.com. I already went on and ordered some stuff for this run. And the throwback stuff, my personal favorite. Lots of great stuff there, though. Again, simplyseattle.com. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, rewrite!
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
Headline number one, Bill Belichick was not voted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in his first year of eligibility. What's the real headline?
Considering he had to wait 49 years for his girlfriend to be born, a one-year wait is a walk in the park.
Dang.
Ooh.
Dang.
Shout out! I have to shout out Curtis for that one. I do have to give him credit for that one.
This is ridiculous. 8 Super Bowl titles, 2 as an assistant. 3-time Coach of the Year. 2000 All-Decade Team. 2010 All-Decade Team. Most playoff wins as a head coach. Most divisional titles. Second in career wins. Like, come on now. Are you really going to hold Spygate and Deflategate against him like that? Is it that serious? I mean, it was that serious. You got fined $500,000, then $1 million. If that's what it is, then okay.
Bill Pulliam thinks so. Or at least reportedly thinks so.
I guess, if that's your angle. But he is the greatest coach in NFL history. This should have been a shoe-in. He could wait a year, though. But there's something to be said when you are a first-time ballot Hall of Famer.
Yes, so Mike Sando of The Athletic had a really long post up on X.com. Bump, your point was one of the ones he made where he's like, yeah, maybe some of the voters are holding Spygate and Deflategate against him, and they want to somehow punish him by knowing that they'll eventually voting him in, but sending a message for that one. But then he said, and this is something that many people are familiar with because it happens in other, like MLB Hall of Fame, it'll happen too. When everyone assumes, oh, this guy's going to get it, so then they vote for someone else to up their eligibility or keep them eligible or add to their vote total because they just think like, well, who's not going to vote for Belichick? And then if 1 or 2 more people do that, then you think, well, now suddenly Belichick isn't a first ballot guy.
Yeah.
He also said that being eligible 1 year after, that people could also be wanting to make a statement about that. Like, I don't think you should be eligible 1 year after retiring. Who cares?
So what?
Who cares?
He's eligible.
Yeah. So it's obviously really lame. And again, Sando provides a lot of insight to it, but I would bump on this one. And frankly, with Brady this morning, who said if he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, then no coach should be.
You know, I just think that to me, I don't understand it. I mean, I was with him every day. If he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, there's really no coach that should ever be a first ballot Hall of Famer, which is completely ridiculous because people deserve it. And he's incredible. There's no coach I'd ever want to play for. I'd rather play for. If I'm picking one coach to go out there to win a Super Bowl, give me one season, I'm taking Bill Belichick. So that's enough said. There's nothing outside of that. You know, again, when it comes down to votes and popularity and all that, like, you know, then welcome to the world of voting. And you may as well go, you know, try out for the Oscars or whatever and get a big panel to tell you if you're good or not.
Headline rewrites.
Try out for the Oscars.
Try out for the. You can do that. Can I try out next year?
No.
Headline number two, another head coach hiring in the NFL. The Browns are going with former Ravens OC Todd Monken as their next head coach. What's the real headline?
Always good to hire the guy who famously couldn't get along with Lamar Jackson.
You look good on paper, though. You look good on paper. He had his offense number 4, number 1 at one point, number 1, 2, and 3 in rushing. This is going to be interesting, though. I think that his football mind is great. I don't know him as a person. I think that he's going to lean on the run heavily. What's the quarterback situation going on over there? It's his turn, man. It feels like you go to the Browns to build character. The Browns and the Jets. You want to build some head coaching character. You go there, you'll learn some lessons. You might put together a year or two, at least with the Browns, not with the Jets, and eventually figure out your philosophy and how you would run some things. So good luck to Todd Monken over there. It's going to be rough, but there's only so many jobs available. He had to take it.
I was a little surprised because I thought Monken, I'll step back. The rumor was that part of the reason, not the entirety of the reason, but a small part of the reason that the Ravens moved on from John Harbaugh is that he was very, very loyal. It was like a Pete Carroll situation. He was really loyal with his coordinators, one of them being Monken. And so people assumed, well, if he refuses to fire Todd Monken, then surely Monken will follow him wherever he goes. And so that's kind of what I assumed, but that would be a lateral move. And this one, obviously, promotion. Can't turn that down when you have a chance to be a head coach.
No.
Some interesting coaching hires. Lots of promotions from a coordinator job, or maybe hires from within, right? Like Saleh and Harbaugh were the big name moves, and everything else is kind of.
It's like promotion. I love the Joe Brady move, honestly, with the Bills.
Really?
I really love that move. I think that's the way to go. You keep that stability. He knows what it is to be a Bill.
Yeah.
And all that good stuff. I really like that move.
I was listening to, it was either Shel Kapadia or Greg Rosenthal. Tell me what you think about this. He was saying, what's really interesting about the Joe Brady hire is that because it's seen as just kind of a continuation of a little bit of the staff that was already there, you don't get the same grace period of and you're allowed to fail. The expectation should be, hey, you were here and you're still tied with the GM. The GM's still here. Get to a Super Bowl. You don't get this kind of Mike McDonald came on as a new coach for a team that, had 9 wins the year prior. But when he didn't make the playoffs, it wasn't end of the world, fire Mike McDonald. It was it's his first year.
I think that's probably why they made the move, because they feel we can hire this guy. He knows that we've almost been there, and let's just go.
Yeah.
When you bring a guy in, there's a grace period. Unless you're bringing in Harbaugh or Tomlin or someone like that, there's a grace period. So that's probably partly why they did that.
Yeah, they were no grace period. We're jumping right back in. What's next?
Headline rewrites.
Headline 3, Steelers head coach Mike McCarthy says he wants Aaron Rodgers back as Pittsburgh's quarterback in 2026. What's the real headline?
Let's be honest about why. It's just so Mike McCarthy can find out if Aaron's lying about his wife. We need more questions for Aaron. We're not done figuring out what's going on here and trying to get to the bottom of it. Now, Curtis, you think he's telling the truth. He is truly married.
So there's a podcast out there hosted by, I think, Charlotte Wilder. I think she's with Sports Illustrated now, where she claims to have found Aaron Rodgers' wife on the internet based off of clues that Aaron's dropped throughout there. But she refuses to reveal the identity of Aaron's wife just out of privacy.
Yeah.
So, somebody says she exists.
I can absolutely respect someone who wants to remain private, and I don't think it's our business or our right to know. The reason I even joke about it is I need to know if Aaron's lying about being married. That's interesting to me. If he's not, great. I don't need to know who your wife is.
Why you hiding wifey?
We can all respect.
Why you hiding
We can all
wifey?
respect that she wants to be private, and she has a job, she has a life, she has a family. Maybe she doesn't want to be. Not everyone wants to be famous.
Something's weird. Something weird's going on. You don't hide wifey.
But it would be objectively hilarious to find out he was lying about it.
I don't think he's lying. I think he's just weird. I just think he's weird. Why you hiding wifey? Be proud. Hold her hand.
The best of Tom Brady's visit with Seattle Sports is coming up next on your home for the Super Bowl bound Seattle Seahawks. Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
The first place where Tom Brady weighed in on Bill Belichick's Hall of Fame snub.
I don't understand it.
Seattle Sports with Brock and Salk.
If he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, there's really no coach that should ever be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's incredible. There's no coach I'd ever want to play for. I'd rather play for. If I'm picking one coach to go out there to win a Super Bowl, give me one season, I'm taking Bill Belichick.
Watch the full conversation with a 7-time Super Bowl champ on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Gear up for the big game at Simply Seattle. Shop official Seahawks playoffs gear and custom Simply original designs. Shop in-store or online and enter to win a $1,000 shopping spree now at simplyseattle.com.
To me, the LJ way is to provide an experience that people really enjoy being a part of.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from IQ Bar. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at eatiqbar.com/policy/terms of service.
Hi, I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, ultra-low sugar brain and body fuel. Our IQ Bar plant protein bars help you refuel smarter. Our IQ Mix Zero Sugar Hydration Mixes help you hydrate harder. And our IQ Joe Instant Mushroom Coffees help you caffeinate larger. All three product lines boost physical performance, but they also boost mental performance via nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane. Right now you can try our epic IQ Bar Ultimate Sampler Pack with 9 protein bars, 8 hydration mixes, and 4 coffee sticks. Win your day with clean ingredients, amazing taste, and superior brain and body nutrition. Try IQ Bar today.
Get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping when you text IQ Bar to 64,000. Text IQ Bar to 64,000 to get this exclusive radio offer. That's IQ Bar to 64,000.
You know, this is one of those topics that no one really wants to think about, but if you're a parent, a homeowner, married, or helping take care of aging parents, it's something that honestly deserves a little attention. I'm talking about estate planning. And before you tune out thinking it's complicated or expensive, that's actually why I want to mention Trust and Will. Trust and Will makes estate planning feel way less intimidating than it sounds. They offer modern, attorney-designed wills and trusts that you can create online. And the process is surprisingly straightforward. In fact, you can create a will in as little as 30 minutes. That includes things like guardianship for your kids or pets, how your assets are distributed, and even healthcare directives. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your loved ones with Trust and Will, the most trusted name in online estate planning. Go to trustandwill.com/game to get 20% off. That's trustandwill.com/game for 20% off. trustandwill.com/GAME.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
The only place to hear Steve Rabel and Dave Wyman call the Seahawks in the Super Bowl.
Can you believe it?
Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
The Boat Show, the Boat Show, the Big Seattle Boat Show.
The Big Seattle Boat Show starts this Friday. It's the best time to buy with big selection, big discounts, and big fun for everyone. It's a big deal. Presented by Sundance Yachts and Port of Seattle. Make it a date Friday evenings with Boat Show After Dark, featuring unforgettable ambiance, music, food, beer, and wine. Details and discount tickets at seattleboatshow.com.
You know, this is one of those topics that no one really wants to think about, but if you're a parent, a homeowner, married, or helping take care of aging parents, it's something that honestly deserves a little attention. I'm talking about estate planning. And before you tune out thinking it's complicated or expensive, that's actually why I want to mention Trust and Will. Trust and Will makes estate planning feel way less intimidating than it sounds. They offer modern, attorney-designed wills and trusts that you can create online. And the process is surprisingly straightforward. In fact, you can create a will in as little as 30 minutes. That includes things like guardianship for your kids or pets, how your assets are distributed, and even healthcare directives. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your loved ones with Trust and Will, the most trusted name in online estate planning. Go to trustandwill.com/plan to get 20% off. That's trustandwill.com/plan for 20% off. trustandwill.com/PLAN.
Jewelry Graham. Hi, I'm Brian, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. We have just the right gift for your sweetheart this Valentine's Day. Any style, any budget. Like heart-shaped necklaces, birthstones, or hand-matched diamond studs. Getting engaged? Create a dream ring and choose from natural and lab-grown diamonds in all shapes and sizes. Come see us in store or at shaneco.com because a friend wants you to win Valentine's Day. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
from the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
The Thomas Brady was on Seattle Sports earlier this morning. He was on with Brock and Salk. What a get by them. Shout out to them for that interview. And that means that we have a lot to dissect from it. So, Tom, on what he learned about the Seahawks after calling their last two games, this is what he had to say.
I mean, obviously they were, terrific team through about 10, 11 games, but we just could never seem to get out there. So it was just really enjoyable because you keep watching and then I get a chance to really study them the week of the Niner week a couple weeks ago. And then, after one game, you see pretty quickly, kind of the dominance of the defense and kind of the methodical approach of the offense, the run game, the big plays in the passing game. The explosive special team plays. You guys have been watching it all season long. So, yeah, there's no doubt to me the best team in the NFC is playing in the Super Bowl. That's for sure.
Is the best team in the NFL playing in the Super Bowl?
Best team in the league. Best team in the league. You solidified that with defeating the Rams. I mean, to me, that it wasn't the Super Bowl, but I felt like if you won that game, then chances of you winning the Super Bowl are great. Denver and the Patriots don't really scare me. Respect them, but they don't scare me at all. And I'm sure they don't scare Mike McDonald in this defense.
Yep.
And you got the GOAT saying it. If the GOAT is saying that this is the best team in the NFC, then you got to believe it. And he's called the last two games. He called the Niners game and this game, and I believe a game prior to this as well, a primetime game. So he's seen it. And what do you talk about first? Just that defense, man.
Yep.
They are just dominant. They're leading the charge.
Bump, remind us what a goat is.
A goat is it's a sheep.
That's right.
It's a sheep.
Yeah.
A goat is a sheep.
Oh, no, I did it wrong.
A ram.
I did it. A ram.
I got what you were saying, though. I got what you were saying,
It was on the quiz when I said, what is a ram? You said, it's a goat.
It should be a goat, man. If they look like a dang goat. The heck's going on?
And then there was a pause. It's not a goat, is it?
And I lost the trivia because of that.
I know.
Question.
That's okay.
I learned, though.
Speaking of Tom being here at these last two games and the playoff environment being especially wild there, he talked about what it's like to view that here in Seattle.
I just think it's one of the great environments. It is up there. It's one of the top 2 or 3 environments in the NFL, 100%. I played there in 2012. It was just weird how the schedule worked out. We went there in 2008 as a team. I tore my ACL that year, so I was bummed. We had 4 West Coast games, and the Seahawks were one of them. I didn't get a chance to play. Matt Castle was there. I think the Patriots actually ended up beating the Seahawks that year in 2008. And then we went back in 2012 and lost. It was a really tough game. But again, you just think about just being on the other side of the country up in the Northwest. You don't have the normal familiarity with it. And then to go there and play against a young Earl Thomas, a young Cam Chancellor. I think Sherm was a rookie.
Now, again, I unfortunately was not able to be there for this one, but Bump, you were, and you told me the environment was insane.
Yeah, it was nuts, man. It was the opening kickoff was the loudest I've heard that stadium in my 10 years covering this team. I know people are going to say, well, Beastquake and all that stuff. I'm just saying, since I've been covering that team 10 years, that's the loudest I ever heard it. And the commitment too. The crowd, we got a smart crowd. They know when to be loud. They know when to be quiet. They're just they're very in tune with what's going on. And it was loud, and I'm up in the booth. So now imagine being on the field and having all those sound waves directed right at you. It probably sounds like chaos on the field.
All right, now let's talk quarterbacks on quarterbacks. Tom Brady said that Darnold is more explosive than surgical, and then asked what he meant by that, said this.
When I look at Matt Stafford, for example, he's a very surgical, precise decision maker. The halfbacks are involved in the game. The tight ends are involved in high percentage throws. They can, the Rams could beat you, I would say, like death by 1,000 cuts. A 6-yard gain, a 7-yard gain, a 4-yard gain, everything to stay in the green or to stay ahead of the sticks. The Seahawks do that a little more with their run game, but they're more of an explosive passing team. They're not looking, I don't always think, for those high precision surgical throws. They're looking for more of the downfield throws, the over routes, the flag routes, off of play action that moves their quarterback. I think Sam does a great job out of being out of the pocket where he can see really clearly. He did make some nice throws from the pocket, but from my studying, the majority of his plays come from outside the pocket.
Does that description feel right to you, more explosive than surgical?
At first, I wouldn't have described it that way, but as he's talking through it, Matthew Stafford, he's like me. He's got gray in his beard. He's got to be a bit more mature with his decision making. Whereas Sam, he's like the middle child. He's getting loose. He can throw that thing. I think, I would agree with that. If I were to initially try to describe the two, I wouldn't describe Sam Darnold as explosive. I would describe his arm as just super talented, but it goes hand in hand.
Okay, God, there's so much to get through. Next, one more about Sam Darnold here, and then some stuff on the Patriots, Drake May, Josh McDaniels, which I thought would be good as we slowly start to transition to an actual game preview for Super Bowl 60. Tom Brady says Kubiak has done a great job of putting Darnold in the right situations.
I thought Clint Kubiak does a good job of putting in situations where he can be, successful outside the pocket. So everyone has different styles of offense. In the end, you really can't do everything. There's not enough time to practice everything. There's not enough time. You can't run the inside zone, the mid zone, the outside zone, the toss plays, the gap plays, the power plays, the counter plays, the bob plays. Like you have to settle on something in an offense. And, the way they've settled on it with Seattle is control the game, running the ball, controlling the line of scrimmage. And once you start overplaying in the run game, because, certainly when Charbonnet was there, you had a great 1-2 punch. But now when that defense starts to over-pursue or overplay their blocks, well, then you're able to cut the ball back and find creases in the defense with a very athletic offensive line. So it's a great style of play, and a lot of teams have been successful doing it.
Do you see Kubiak or even the Shanahan system at large setting their quarterbacks up for success, and how do they do that?
Yeah, obviously they're a zone concept team, and the way it helps is because zone is such a downhill type of run. It's a downhill run because you're taking your steps forward now. When you're gap scheming, you're trapping power and all that stuff, like you're down blocking, a guy's wrapping around, you're kicking out there. It's beautiful when it goes down and everyone's man on man and matched up. But there's some time it takes for it to develop a little bit. To whereas zone scheme, it still takes a little bit of time. You see Ken Walker kind of taking his time, bouncing back there, but you got bodies on bodies right now. You can kind of figure out what you're seeing a bit faster than some gap schemes. A trap, you can kind of see if you're like trapping the one tick, you're blocking down to him. That kind of hits pretty fast. But I think those type of runs set up the play action a bit more because you're taking those wide steps by the offensive lineman. You're reaching to the right or the left side, and the defense naturally has to flow. There's no defense that's going to see an offensive lineman take those reach steps and block down and get to that second level and just stay put and say, no, they're flowing that way. I'm just going to stay in the middle. You got to respect it. So now you get them taking that flow. Boom, you pop it out the other way. You're forcing them to flip their hips or whatnot. No, I love it, man. I think this was the right hire. It's the right move. And it's looking like Kubiak ain't going nowhere because I don't think he wants that Raiders job.
Yeah, I don't know who does. Last one here. Let's talk about the Patriots. Tom Brady, very famous Patriot, asked about that combination between MVP favorite Drake May, co-favorite, and coordinator Josh McDaniels.
Obviously, Drake's had a great season, and I think he's done a good job throwing the ball down the field, high yards per attempt, very good with his downfield throws, been very accurate. I saw a few of the playoff games and snippets. I mean, Josh is like a brother to me. I mean, Josh and I worked together forever. There's nobody as talented as what Josh McDaniels can do as a play caller. In my mind, he's the best, one of the top 3 play callers in the NFL. The way he sees the game is phenomenal. It's so smart. Everything he does is for a reason. There's no BS in his offense. You don't motion just to motion. You don't line up in a formation just to line up in a formation. There's a rhyme and reason for everything he does, a lot like the way Coach McDonald coaches defense.
Something tells me that you will spend a lot of your weekend watching Patriots tape.
I just started last night.
Oh, my God. What stands out early?
I was watching how teams got pressure on Drake May, and he was sacked 5 times against the Denver Broncos. I was interested to see what kind of gave him those issues. Only threw for like 100 and something yards. Granted, the conditions were a bit shaky. Denver was so solid up front, man. And it's not like they were blitzing him a lot either. It's just that they were able to get pressure on the edge and make him step up into some easy sacks. So Denver's game plan wasn't that bad. They just couldn't score points.
There's obviously more from Tom. It was a great interview. You can go and listen to it on the Brock and Salk podcast. Coming up next, get off my lawn on your home for the Super Bowl bound Seahawks, Seattle Sports, and the Seattle Sports app.
Holy smokes! For 40 years, he's been part of the soundtrack of summer across the Pacific Northwest.
The Griffeys with back-to-back home runs!
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports, congratulates Rick Riz.
Everybody scores!
Season 41 may be his last, but it promises to be one to remember.
Riz, the smoothest voice in the game. He deserves to go out on top.
Don't miss a minute of Rick Riz calling Mariners baseball on Seattle Sports.
The new year is finally here, and you could kick the new year off right by getting in shape and making Top Fitness your first stop. Hey, Brock Ewart here with my friends at Top Fitness, where their stores are celebrating the new year with some great deals. You could take your New Year's resolution seriously with the very best fitness gear there is set up in your home by our professional installers. They sell the best quality products available. Brands like Precor, True, Octane, Inspire, and Hyrox. Come in now and check out the best deal of deals on treadmills. They're Precor 885 treadmills that are lease returns normally sell for over $13,000, now only $36.99, including a full 3-year warranty. This is the same commercial treadmill sold to health clubs worldwide. And every new treadmill, elliptical, and home gym, well, they're all on sale. They got the largest selection of home fitness equipment in Washington, and their staff will show you why. It's no secret why everybody from pro athletes to personal trainers love their stores. Locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or visit topfitness.com for more info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and, of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Everyone wants to get the best deal they can when they buy a car. But what about when you want to sell your car? Of course, you want to get the most money possible. But how do you get the most you can without trying to sell it yourself? Well, that's where my friends at Wayscar Ford in Auburn step in. Not only will they buy your car today, but that's just the beginning. Once they resell your old car, they send you another check for 50% of the profit of the sale of your old car. They've already given back over $750,000 to their customers. Mark, GM of Wayscar Ford, joins me, and it's such a great offer. But to clear up any confusion, is this like a consignment, and how can you offer this?
It's not a consignment, Stacy. In a consignment, the dealer that's trying to sell your car hasn't paid you yet. We pay you right up front. No more insurance, no more maintenance. All that's gone. After that's done, we pay half the profit. It's that simple. There's no magic to this. All the money we're saving by not buying at auctions, the shipping fees and the travel, we're giving it back to you. That's how it works.
So get the most money possible at Wayscar Ford Isuzu in Auburn and let them do the work.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the roads you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's all about you getting more from less. Stop by or book an appointment at leschwab.com.
Listen every day to the Bump and Stacy Show for headline rewrites. Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services. Security systems and fire alarms for every business. Bay Alarm, we got you.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends at People Come First, or PCF Construction Group. Are you tired of grilling in the cold and rain every winter? Well, with a patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy your outdoor deck or patio all year long, staying warm and dry, even in the cold winter. Take advantage of off-season savings through February 15th, and you can get up to 10% off your entire project, plus 12 months with no payments and no interest. You see, most people don't consider building a deck in the winter, but if you want yours ready by next spring and summer, contact PCF right now to start planning. Spend the winter dreaming and designing your project so you're ready to build by spring. Planning and permits, they take a little time, so get started now. Get project ideas, browse the photos, and find all the offer details at pcfgroup.com. That's my friends online at pcfgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space with People Come First.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY, and I want to talk to you about football. It's exciting when Seattle fans shake the earth. You can even feel that energy on your 100-inch variable refresh QLED surround sound 7.1. At 1-800-DUI-AWAY, we know that enjoying the game often involves alcohol. And the police know it too. Have fun, be responsible on game day, and pace yourself. If you feel sacked in the fourth quarter, get a designated driver to take you to your end zone. If you get carried away with too many Bloody Marys after too many Hail Marys, call for a timeout. You get the point. Be safe. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com. Watching the game in your blue and green jersey is a lot more fun than wearing an orange jumpsuit.
1-800-DUI-AWAY.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
I am finding a lot of people wondering what it's like behind the scenes when you're getting ready for a Super Bowl. So in 15 minutes, we're going to ask Bryan Walters, who's been there, done that, and won one. Before we get to it, it's time for Get Off My Lawn. Bump's got 3 things grinding his gears this week, and you got to complain about it. So, Bump, what's going on?
I'm a man. I'm 40. I saw a picture the other day. I got a lot of gray in my beard. I didn't realize how much gray I had in my beard.
Yeah, but you don't want to do like the Ryan Day.
No, I'm not doing that.
You know what I mean?
Rocking it.
It's too pigmented.
Rocking
the gray is distinguished.
Exactly.
You know
exactly.
I'll accept that.
Yeah.
But it's not about my beard.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
What is it like? Maybe 40-something degrees today outside?
Yeah, balmy.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Something that bothers me is when people wear too much warm gear. Like, it ain't that cold. You know what I mean? I'm from California, and I'll throw a hoodie on, and we'll just work through it. I saw people walking today. It's not even that cold out today. Earmuffs, gloves on. I'm like, I'm from Cali. Why are you so dang cold? That's unnecessary. Just wait until you really have to use it. I think it's because people get new warm gear, and they're like, I got to wear this. I got to wear it.
That is
and they get
correct.
all excited, and they want to wear it. They got 4 layers on. It's like 40-something degrees today. Unless you are directly from California, from Florida, from Arizona, this is your first year out here, the unnecessary warm gear gets me. I saw someone with a scarf today walking down the street. I'm like, it's 40-something degrees. You're doing too much, ma'am. Ma'am, you're doing too much. I don't know why that bothered me so much, but I was literally walking into the station.
Did you feel like they
what?
were appropriating your LA culture?
No.
Oh, okay.
I didn't feel that. I felt like they were wearing too much stuff is what I felt like. It's too much.
Unnecessary.
Yeah, I know you sweating. You're going to be stanky in about an hour. I know you sweating. Too much warm gear. That bothered me today. I don't know why it did.
I felt called out by that one because not even that long ago, Curtis, maybe like 2 years ago, the joke about me never checking the weather app in part stemmed from me showing up to work in a brand new winter coat.
It was like 65 degrees outside.
I had winter boots, like nice
It was
winter
like
boots
late
that
September, early October. So like I think you were hoping that because of the way you dressed, it would somehow change the temperature
I was like,
of the day.
it's fall. It's fall
like, yeah,
season, fall
it's
girly.
sunny
Pumpkin
outside.
spice.
You know how we used to check the weather back in Cali? Because it was so consistent. Literally open the door and stick your arm out just to
And you're
feel
like,
it.
yep,
Like, oh, all right.
still nice.
Cool, 75.
So I can't totally co-sign this one because I am a repeat offender. This morning for my walk with Lukey, not only did I put on a ton of warm gear, I put him in 2 coats.
It's 40-something degrees.
I didn't want him to be cold. He's a baby.
Yeah, man. I don't know. That just bothered me today. I mean, do what you want to do.
Right.
If you want to sweat like that, you go ahead and
Yeah,
sweat.
yeah.
But it's a little too much.
Okay, fine. What's next?
All right.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Super Bowl coming up next week. I'll be there Tuesday to Monday. I'm going to live in San Francisco pretty much. And everyone, you know, I grew up in California, a bunch of Niner fans and stuff that I have as friends. And I have a lot of friends here too. Everyone, I don't get free tickets. Stop texting me for free tickets. I don't get free tickets. I will be there. They pay for me to be there. It's part of my job, but I don't get free tickets. Hit me. I mean, it'd be people I ain't talked to in 15 years. Can you get me tickets to this game? All playoffs. I don't get free tickets, okay? Now, I can ask for a favor during a playoff game, and maybe the Seahawks will hook me up, but this is the Super Bowl. This is the most corporate event you're ever going to see. You see all those fans in the stands, about half of them really care about the game. The other half, they're there because Safeway gave them tickets.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't get free tickets. So don't DM me trying to be funny. Oh, man, I wish I could go to the game. Yeah, I wish you could too, because I don't get free tickets. I don't. And them tickets are expensive. I understand why you hitting me up, but I don't get free tickets. I love all y'all. I love all my friends. Man, one of my homies hit me up and said, man, if you can give me a ticket, I'll throw you $500. You know how much them tickets cost?
Throw you $500.
$500.
I'll throw you $500.
What? that's gonna feed me next week. That 500. What are you talking about?
No.
Yeah, man. It's ridiculous how many people have hit me up. Now, my close friends have hit me up, and I've pointed them in the right direction. That's different. But listen, if you were not at my 40th birthday party, okay, don't hit me up for free tickets.
Me and Curtis were.
You were there.
Yeah, we can vouch for who's there.
Yeah, we definitely were there.
Don't hit me up.
Spread was great.
Oh,
Renee Bumpers did her thing.
Yeah.
Renee
I
did her
had
thing.
I had 2 plates. What's last?
All right, last one.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
All right. So I do, obviously, we post stuff for Bonneville. You know, you do your numbers of the week. I do my Make It Make Sense. I do stuff for the Seahawks. And Stacy doesn't like looking at comments. Stacy's a sweetheart, you know, and, you know, she's softer than I am, and you're great for that. Me, I don't give a you-know-what. And people jump my comments all the time. They be hating and stuff. They show love, too, but they be hating. Niners fans, stay out of my dang comments. It's over for you. Why are y'all still in my comments? I posted a video yesterday. Niners talk about y'all gonna lose to the Patriots. You are done. Why rent-free? We're in your head like that. Niner fans, stay out of my. Actually, yeah. You know, keep engaging, actually. You know what? Keep engaging, because then they engage, start talking stuff, and Seahawks fans jump on them. But I'm like, Niners, y'all are that bitter. Y'all have not won a Super Bowl since I was a little boy, like 10, 11 years old. It's just not your, it's not for you, okay? The Super Bowl is not for you. It is for us this year.
It's not
It is
for
crazy
you.
how many Niners fans are still jumping in my comments, man. And I check the comments. If you want to talk crap, you can talk crap. It's all good, all right? I don't care. I got thick skin. I've been called everything in the book. You don't know what you're talking about, bum. Blah, 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 blah. Some ask me, why are you wearing an LA hat? You clearly don't know me if you're asking me why I wear an LA hat, okay?
Right.
I'm from LA. I wear Seattle stuff too. But Niners, stay out of my comments. Actually, stay in the comments, but just know that we are in your head rent-free. It is over for you. Your bags are already packed. You're already in Cancun. It's a wrap. You know, start your off-season program, okay? Because it's done
That's
for
what
y'all.
I'm saying. It's
Niner gang, bing, bing, bang.
Now, that's evidence. That's evidence. It's one thing if it's Rams fans. Still a little salty. You know, it's recent.
Yeah.
The wound is fresh.
It's
okay?
fresh.
You need to talk your stuff. That's fine. That's fine. 49ers fans, what are you doing here? The party ended a week ago.
You know, they're just mad because we're about to Airbnb their stadium. That's why.
That's exactly
About
what
to
it is.
Airbnb that
They're like,
thing.
how dare you come into our house? That's why they want to be rent-free. Rent there so expensive.
So expensive.
It's just too
Niners
much.
fans, y'all crazy,
Absolutely
man.
too
Y'all
much.
crazy.
But also, yes, definitely keep engaging. I try to remind myself of that, just like how engagement works when I'm
Yeah.
like, when people say like really rude things or like, you know, just dumb stuff. Sometimes it's not even talking trash. It's commenting that like, someone commented on my, go back to blonde. All right,
Like, man, them comments be crazy, man. They be crazy. I love it, though. I love it.
The 49ers are wild. You know what I want so bad? I just want one Titans fans. Yeah, you're lucky.
Get Jets
We
fans.
almost
Jets
got
fans,
you,
get
though.
on
We
it, too.
almost got you. Just getting in there. All right. One thing I noticed when Mike McDonald was at his Monday press conference earlier this week was that a lot of the questions he was being asked fairly were about what actually happens behind the scenes. Hey, next week you guys are going to be in Santa Clara, but what about now? What about today? What about tomorrow? What's going on behind the scenes for the Seahawks as they get ready for the biggest game of the season? We thought we would ask someone who has been there. Bryan Walters, a Super Bowl winning former wide receiver for the Seahawks, is joining us next.
Holy smokes! For 40 years, he's been part of the soundtrack of summer across the Pacific Northwest.
The Griffeys with back-to-back home runs.
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports, congratulates Rick Riz.
Everybody scores.
Season 41 may be his last, but it promises to be one to remember.
Riz, the smoothest voice in the game. He deserves to go out on top.
Don't miss a minute of Rick Riz calling Mariners baseball on Seattle Sports.
Luxury has arrived. It's Mike Salk here, and the all-new Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel is now open, featuring a destination spa, the expanded non-smoking space, and breathtaking views of the Cascades. You can catch every game at Hawks Peak, over 66 televisions, plus that 2,000-seat entertainment venue and exciting new dining options. Effortless style, the utmost in relaxation. You can book now at snocasino.com. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
Does your yard need shade, privacy, or a little brightening up? Look no further than Big Trees. I'm Nancy Penrose, owner of Big Trees in Snohomish. At our 30-acre location, there are thousands of trees to choose from and knowledgeable staff, including a board-certified master arborist, to help you find exactly what you're looking for. Visit the nursery and learn more about Big Trees at bigtreesupply.com.
Beauty, privacy, instant
Have you considered surgery or even joint replacement? Hey, it's Dave Wyman, and before you make that decision, see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Why? Because he gives it to you straight. Dr. Wagner said my right knee needs replacement, and I appreciate his honesty and expertise. My left knee is fine right now, but the minute it isn't, I'm heading to Dr. Wagner for his expert opinion. I want to avoid another surgery, and I've heard so many patients rave about results from their 90-minute outpatient stem cell procedure with Dr. Wagner. He's a board-certified Seattle physician with over 30 years of experience and has performed more than 20,000 stem cell procedures using a person's own stem cells to regenerate cartilage in their own joints. People with severe osteoarthritis, even bone on bone, are back doing what they enjoy without pain and without surgery. Whether it's a shoulder, hip, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
By texting 64000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from IQ-Bar. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at eatiqbar.com/policy/terms of service.
Hi, I'm Will, and I created IQ-Bar to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, ultra-low sugar brain and body fuel. Our IQ-Bar plant protein bars help you refuel smarter. Our IQ Mix Zero Sugar Hydration Mixes help you hydrate harder. And our IQ Joe Instant Mushroom Coffees help you caffeinate larger. All three product lines boost physical performance, but they also boost mental performance via nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane. Right now, you can try our epic IQ Bar Ultimate Sampler Pack with 9 protein bars, 8 hydration mixes, and 4 coffee sticks. Win your day with clean ingredients, amazing taste, and superior brain and body nutrition. Try IQ Bar today.
Get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping when you text IQ Bar to 64,000. Text IQ Bar to 64,000 to get this exclusive radio offer. That's IQ Bar to 64,000.
This President's Day, Pure Talk is honoring Jackson and Lincoln by offering unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month. Meanwhile, Big Wireless is honoring Benjamin Franklin by charging families hundreds of dollars for the same 5G service. What's up with that? Ben Franklin wasn't even a president. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be in business with an American wireless company that supports our vets in a big way and keeps all their customer service in this country. That's important. And you'll be on the same towers the big carriers use, so you'll get the same 5G service without the inflated price. So hang on to your Benjamins and switch to Pure Talk for a Jackson and a Lincoln. No contract, no hidden fees. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and you'll get 50% off your first month when you switch. That's pound 250, Mike Rowe, for an American wireless company that is truly unprecedented. Pure Talk.
Taxes was waiting on the refund you needed yesterday.
All right, your car repair is going to run about $3,000.
Now Taxes is getting back on the road with TurboTax and Credit Karma, where you can get your refund up to 5 days faster and get personalized guidance to take every dollar further. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Deposit a federal refund into Credit Karma Money account and early submission of refund data by IRS required. Terms apply. Banking services provided by MVB Bank, Inc. Member FDIC. Credit Karma is not a bank.
Save more on the brands pros trust at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 35% off select major appliances and choose from our wide lineup of top brands. Plus, save $100 on a Little Giant 22-foot multi-position ladder. Now just $189. Built for strength, flexibility, and job site versatility. Pros, these savings will only be here for a limited time. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 1/30 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for more details.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Browns have their new head coach, Cleveland hiring former Baltimore Ravens offensive coordinator Todd Monken to the role. Some surprising news yesterday, Bill Belichick was not voted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in his first year of eligibility.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. NFL analyst and former Seahawks receiver and Super Bowl winner Bryan Walters joining us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. B. Walt, how's it going?
We're doing great, and even better now that I realize that since I went to Bump's 40th birthday, that I'm supposed to be able to get Super Bowl tickets from him.
Yeah, it's great,
Bump,
right?
Bump, how do you want me to handle that, Bump? Just send you what I need, my request? How's that work?
Hey, straight cash, homie, straight cash.
He's willing to
Wait, you
pay
don't get
up
them
to
for free?
$500.
No, unfortunately, I don't get them for free, B. Walt.
Oh, come on, Bump. Are you kidding me?
Brian, we have a lot of questions about the Seahawks that are more analytical, but I wanted to start with some behind-the-scenes questions because I think what a lot of Seahawks fans might be curious about right now, even though many have experienced it before with this team, is what goes on behind the scenes in the 2 weeks leading up to the actual game itself. For instance, in the week before you even head to, now in your case it was Jersey, but in the case of this team, Santa Clara, what happens? Like, what's that behind-the-scenes week look like?
Well, yeah, I'm not really sure what they're doing now, what this team is doing, considering it's all different, but I can tell you exactly what we did. And it was actually really unique. It was I enjoyed it. I liked what we did because this whole week right now, kind of the bye week, I guess is what they'd say, but we prepped. We had the entire week exactly like we were playing this Sunday. So we did everything the same. It was a way Pete Carroll's kind of idea. I don't know if it's his idea, maybe got it from someone, but just going through a normal week, because we all know that, like, once you get to next week, it's not normal. There's nothing normal about being out there for Super Bowl, like all the craziness going on. So we went through, our Monday, Tuesday was off as normal. Then we went through our typical install on Wednesday, first down, second down, all that stuff, normal 2-hour practice. And then Thursday was all the red zone stuff, the third down stuff, Bump, you know how that goes, right, Bump? It's pretty typical throughout the league. Went through it all normal install. Friday, kind of summing up everything, making sure everything's on the same page, all that. Saturday, like a walkthrough, like we're getting ready for the game. And then instead of playing in the game Sunday, we traveled that Sunday. We traveled to New York. We traveled to Arizona. And so it was really unique because it's like we were already prepped for the game going into the game of preparation. So then the next week, Super Bowl week, you go through all the media stuff, all the media day and how crazy that is. And it's just nothing feels right. Nothing feels like it's the normal routine, but you've already been through it. You've already prepped yourself like it was normal. So it's kind of nice to go about that and just know that you were ready. And then you were going through the game plans twice. So you're almost twice prepared. So I would say it worked one time, worked in New York, and it should have worked the second time, but we won't get into that one.
I agree 100%. B. Walt, we're talking about prep. Like, how closely do you feel like coordinators stick to what they've done all year, and how much do they sprinkle in? Because you know how it goes. You got all this time, right? Watch all this film, and I would imagine some coordinators are like fighting not to add too much into the game plan. What is that process like?
Yeah. Well, I just remember being really bored in offensive meetings later in the season, and it's because it was almost the same install, right? I mean, you'd seen all these plays. You'd seen them all. You knew how to run them. And it was like you're going through this repetitive motion of, yes, I know I run a slant on this play. Yes, I know this is where I run it. Yes, I know this. Like, we've been over this for 16 straight weeks. But then it's the 5 or 10 extra wrinkles that they throw into these things, right? The extra little adjustments that might change a play a little bit that you really have to pay attention to. So I think, at least for the coordinators I've been with, I think they were pretty good at kind of just sticking to what they know and their game plans. But then you have to throw in those little wrinkles, have to throw in those little plays that if you've thrown something out there multiple times on film and teams know it and they're going to practice it, they're going to draw it up and their scout teams are going to run it against them all week long. If you've thrown a play out there a lot, you need to have some kind of wrinkle off that play. Like when you get into this formation, when you show, this route, whatever it is, you have to have something that can counter that can go against all the film that you've shown on tape. So I think that's the thing at this point is just, look, their offenses are their offenses. There'll be a couple rules adjustments, maybe depending on the defenses, you see the Patriots, whatever, but what's the general game plan is at this point. I mean, I feel like, to sum it up quickly, sorry, I'm getting long-winded with this.
No, you're good.
Let's say you have 10 third down plays, right? Well, you know, it goes 3rd and 3 is usually how you set it up, 3rd and 3 to 6, and then 3rd and like 7 to 10 or 7 to 10 plus is usually how you break down your third down game plan. Like, let's say you have 10 plays that are, you know, 3rd and 3 to 6. I mean, 7 of those, 8 of those are probably repeats every single week. And you're not reinstalling them. You're just kind of refreshing them. And then you might have 1, 2, maybe 3 wrinkles that the coach will add that are new plays. So it's not too bad at this point in the season.
I know that you and Bump will probably watch a lot more film on New England heading into this one, and that we aren't even getting into like that full preview Super Bowl week yet. That being said, what are some of your thoughts right now on the Patriots, this Patriots team, and maybe the challenges or opportunities facing Seattle ahead of Super Bowl 60?
Yeah, I think just the brief things that I've kind of gone over with the Patriots now is I think the offense and Drake May gets a lot of their headlines. And to me, it's almost a reversal of the Seahawks, right? The Seahawks defense gets all the headlines, and you don't talk about this offense very much, where I think it's almost like the opposite for the Patriots, where I feel like the defense deserves a lot of credit, and they're good. They're a really good defense, a top 5 defense in the league. You look at what they've done in the playoffs so far, and I know that there has been weather situations that have helped them. You know, makes it easier on defenses because it makes offenses struggle, especially last week against the Broncos with the whole whiteout in the second half. But this defense is good. I mean, it is really good, and it'll be a challenge. You know, after the Seahawks won the NFC Championship, I was doing the broadcast down the field, and I was like, you know what? This is a lot like 2013. I feel like this was the Super Bowl. Like, I really do. I feel like the winner of this game is going to be the Super Bowl champion. Just how we felt in 2013, how we felt then when we were going against the Broncos in the Super Bowl. And as much as I still kind of want to stick to that, it's going to be a lot tougher than I initially thought. You know, everyone's giving the Patriots kind of this you know, they haven't played anybody. They haven't played a tough schedule. You know, that's not their fault. And again, they've played really well against those teams. Their defense hasn't, you know, lost again. They've just shown no reason why the consistency won't continue, in my opinion. So I think it's going to be a lot tougher than what I initially thought. And I'm really excited actually to break down a few more games because I haven't watched a lot of the Patriots yet this year. And I don't know, Bump, you're the film watcher. How much of the playoff film are you even going to watch? That's what I've been thinking about, because I feel like it's not a very good it doesn't really paint the whole picture of what this Patriots team is, because it's like, you know, it's been so unique the way the weather has been and stuff. So I'm kind of looking back and seeing what games I'm going to watch and break down and see how I can get a good feel of these Patriots.
Yeah, a lot of the first half I'm going to watch, or I have watched for in that Bronco game, because that's when the weather wasn't too bad. And obviously second half, it gets all snowy and stuff. Then I'm going to look at just the most explosive plays that Drake May has had and try to figure out why he's had those plays and break it all down. Yeah, we're going to be super prepped, B. We got 2 weeks to get these things in. We're going to be super prepped.
We're going to be ready to go.
What was Pete Carroll's approach to free time that you guys had during the Super Bowl, and what do you think Mike McDonald's approach should be?
Well, Pete, you know what? I mean, Pete didn't have many rules. I mean, we know that. I mean, the 3 rules he had, now I'm gonna actually try to challenge myself to remember these rules. I know what they were, but like, no excuses. You know, be on time and protect the team. That's it, right? Those are the 3 rules. So Pete didn't really free time. We're doing our thing. Like, anyway, people could do whatever they wanted, and as long as you knew you're protecting the team, you're out there and you're doing what's best for the team. So there wasn't. You're free, just like any other week. I think that's the most important thing, is treating it like any other week. And when you're at home and you're preparing for a game at home, or you go on the way throughout the week, you're on your own. Like, you go through the weekly schedule of practice, but once you're out of there at 6, 7 o'clock, whatever it is, you know, guys are free. So that's kind of the story. There's no curfews. There's nothing like that during the week, because it's just a normal week, and you can't do that. You can't monitor players like that throughout the season. So why would you do it? Why would you just change it up kind of like that? So I think he'll be pretty loose. I think Coach McDonald will be pretty loose, and I think he has a lot of trust in these guys just to you know, do the right thing, protect the team in a new area, especially a full week in a new area, and be ready to go.
Was it tough the week leading up to the Super Bowl, when you guys were actually on site with all the media stuff, was it hard to ignore the hullabaloo around the event itself? I think what I'm very curious about, even though this team seems to have a really great and steady mindset, is like, that is insane. I mean, we're going to be out there at Radio Row, and I'm already intimidated with like just how crazy it's going to feel. What was that balance like?
Yeah, I mean, the things that stick out to me were like the media day early in the week. Isn't it Monday when they do that?
Yeah,
the crazy media day where it's just like you're just on podiums and it's just a flock of people just coming in, and you're walking around doing crazy things. Like people are asking you all sorts of weird questions. Like that's kind of what sticks out to me the most, because really once you hit Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you're in total prep mode, and you're not getting to Radio Row like as a player. Like that's not really, there's no time. You're a normal day. You're 7 a.m. meetings to 5 p.m., 6 p.m. when you might be out, and then you're exhausted and you don't really want to go there. And in this case, my guess is, I mean, the Seahawks facility, I believe, is in San Jose. You're not going to wander up to San Francisco and whatever that is, an hour and a half north. Is that what it is, Bump? It's pretty far.
Yeah, it's
right?
deep. It's about an hour.
It's deep. So no one's going to go up to Radio Row. So, the distractions are going to be limited, especially down in San Jose. So it's kind of a benefit, I would say. Where New York, everything was easy with the subways and everything, so guys could get everywhere. So that's a different story. But, media day was awesome. It was fun, but a unique experience. You're going from salsa dancing with a random reporter to asking just the craziest questions you could possibly imagine. Like it's just absurd. So it's a unique experience. Super happy for all the guys who get to experience it, because there's really no way to describe it than just say, hey, good luck. Like you're gonna have so much fun, and you'll see what we're talking about.
If you could change one thing about Super Bowl week, the prep, it could be install, your approach, anything. If you could change one thing about this whole experience, what would it be?
Is it too soon? No, it's not too soon. Too soon to say maybe a couple more goal line runs, maybe practicing those.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, that was a joke. I'm joking. I've stood firm that I'm okay with all the calls and stuff. I'm good with it. But anyway, the prep, everything, what would I change? Yeah, that is a good question, Bump. I never really thought about that. I never really gave myself the power to change anything. How about, I don't know. I mean, actually, how about this? I'm going to go this direction with this. On Saturday before the Super Bowl, when we played the Patriots, I think that we had like almost not it was a walkthrough, but it was a little faster walkthrough than normal. I think everyone was so amped up, right? Everyone's kind of just so ready for the game, so excited that it kind of picked up a little bit. And I mean, we ended up having like Cam Chancellor like sprain his MCL during the Saturday walkthrough before the game, the day before the Super Bowl. So maybe, I would kind of look back and say, maybe we should just take a couple deep breaths, maybe not risk anything here. It's just not worth it. Not worth to put people in harm's way, because we made it this far. You've made it. What week is this? 22 technically, 22 weeks of this season. You've made it this far healthy. Like let's just go make sure we're guaranteed going to this thing. Maybe something like that. But that's very high insight. Like that's so rare that something like that would happen. Yeah.
Last one before we let you go. I'm not going to ask for an actual score prediction, but just in case we can't get a hold of you next week with everyone's schedules being so hectic, do you think the Seahawks can get this done and get a Super Bowl 60 win?
100%. Oh, yeah. I mean, I would say they're the clear favorite for this. I still would be shocked if they're not hosting the Lombardi Trophy at the end of this game. It would be something really went wrong. I don't think they can be outplayed by the Patriots. I don't think the Patriots are just going to show up and be the better team than the Patriots. I think it's going to have to do with something that, the Seahawks really hurt themselves. And I just don't see that. The way this team's going, the momentum they have right now, playing just super clean football, really in all phases have kind of picked up the team when they've needed them to. And I think that's really important going into this game. So I'll be shocked. I think if they don't get it done, I really will be.
All right, well, there are a lot of really cool voices that we are going to be speaking to leading up to the Super Bowl, but it's always really cool to talk to someone who's actually won one and knows exactly what this experience is like for these guys. He is Bryan Walters. Thanks, Bryan.
Thanks, B.
Thanks, guys.
All right, let's get to 4 down territory.
This is 4 down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, why do you think the Hawks will get after Drake May in the Super Bowl?
All right, my man has been sacked 15 times in this playoffs. I know he's played more games than other teams, but Matthew Stafford right behind him with 6. Or not right behind him, but that's the closest guy.
Yeah,
6 to 15. Like there's a big gap right there. That's the most in the playoffs. He was sacked 47 times in the regular season. That's 4th best in the playoffs. Obviously, the Denver Broncos have a squad. They sacked him 5 times. But I'm looking at the edge, man. And I kept hearing throughout the year that Will Campbell, I think he was the first offensive lineman drafted in the draft last year or the year before. Either way, they said he's been struggling at tackle. I went and looked up his pressures, not giving up a lot of pressures, only gave up 5 sacks. But that last game, he did struggle. I forgot we had on yesterday. I think he said he's eventually going to be a guard. Yesterday, the day before, either way. But I look at the tackles, and 2 weeks in a row, I think that the Hawks can get after him. I think that if Uchenna can have himself a game, if Boye can have himself a game, Drake May is going to be in trouble. Good football player, 31 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 4,000 yards. You see the baller in him, but you're only as good as your big sometimes, and they've been struggling.
Second down. What's a silly meme you saw that you actually wish would come true?
I saw a meme, and it made me laugh. And B-Wall kind of alluded to it already. It says the Hawks should sign Marshawn Lynch on a 1-day contract and just give him the ball in the 2 and let him score.
Hey, Marshawn, we're sorry.
Hey, just to get right.
Got to reset the universe.
How crazy would it be if you're in that situation again? Like you're down there inside the 5. There's no Zach Charbonnet. You got to give it to K9. But no, I thought that was funny, man. And that just tells you just how deep people were cut with that play. And it still haunts the Seahawks fans today. I saw that meme. Made me laugh. Not going to happen. Marshawn ain't in no playing weight right now. Marshawn ain't even going to the Super Bowl. He's going to be hosting a party down here at one of these clubs on Sunday. So he ain't going to be there.
Third down. What was the biggest play of the year for the offense? Ooh, I like this question. So many choices.
I was trying to figure it out, and you have a bunch of huge plays, right? The most explosive play was that 67-yarder to Jason against the Jags over the top. You can say the Eric Sauber 2-point conversion was big. I'm going to stick with that game, but not that play. I think the biggest play of the year, this is when I realized that Sam had that dog in him.
I know what you're going to say.
It was that play to Cooper Kupp on the corner. The corner route, right side of the field. He stands in the pocket. He gets hit. He drops an absolute dime when you needed to. That play right there just painted the perfect picture for me. He can stand in the pocket. He's not scared of the big throw. We're going to win this football game. That game was probably the biggest because you had to slay the dragon. But that play just said a lot about Sam's character and his grit to stay in there and just not be scared of the moment.
Yeah, also, Salk has had this take for a while about a previous Seahawks Super Bowl team that Percy Harvin was worth whatever it took to get him, whatever you ended up paying him, whatever headaches you had afterward, because you got to and won a Super Bowl, and every single ingredient you had was worth it. And I kind of feel that way about Cooper Kupp, where like whatever you're paying him, even if he didn't get 1,000 yards, is worth it for little moments like that. Yeah. For his blocking, which you've talked about a ton, and for just being like a veteran on this team. When you win a Super Bowl, it's so easy to look back. Or I shouldn't say that. That's premature. When you get to a Super Bowl, when you win your chance to go to one, is what I meant to say. You look back and you go, yeah, none of it matters. So, fourth down. All right, we just talked with Bryan Walters. Anything stand out from that conversation?
Yeah. I asked him about, like, what do you do with your free time? I remember in college, we would travel. We'd be there a day and a half. And it was such a tight schedule. And then we, NFL, we would travel. I went to New York one time. And they just kind of let us do our thing. This is where you really got to trust. And you have to be extremely responsible as a professional. Because, yeah, you're going to be in San Jose, but there's always something to get into. There's always someone trying to provoke you. There's always a bar to go to or anything. There's always something to get into. So this is where the maturity of this team is really going to be tested. These are grown men. You do what you want to do, but you're going to be in a different place for about, a week or so. And temptation is out there. Like, just, you got to be responsible. And I think they will. I think Mike McDonald runs a tight program. I think that players will hold each other accountable. They should be able to have fun. Like, this is a Super Bowl, right? Enjoy yourself. But, yeah, that stood out to me. I'm like, all right. what did B-Wall do? B-Wall is a bit conservative. I think B-Wall was going out getting crazy and stuff. But, you know, you got different personalities on this team. Some guys will like to go out. So I'm just hoping that everyone is safe and healthy.
Yeah.
And just be smart.
I think I was also struck by him mentioning what he would redo when you asked him, like, hey, what's like one or two things you would have done differently, and he mentioned, hey, I had a Super Bowl 49. Cam was playing with a very injured MCL because maybe we were going a little too hard in a walkthrough in a practice that, like, maybe we could have taken it a little easier on ourselves. I think I'm also thinking of that is like, God, I think
Pete was old school too.
Yeah.
And the CBA was different as well.
Sure, but it's a weird week. As much as this team is going to say it's going to be like any other week for us, this is any other game, the environment around you is not.
No.
Like ahead of your regular season finale against the 49ers, yeah, there was a lot of pressure. It was the final game. It was going to be in prime time, blah, blah, blah. But it was still ultimately just another week. All the attention around you was still roughly the same. You're in your own environment.
Yeah.
You're at VMAC, right? This is not that. This is a whole new world.
Now, he even said you'll go from salsa dancing with a reporter to someone asking you just some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And imagine now, right? B-Wall winning, 14, 15?
Mm-hmm.
And social media was there, but it ain't popping like it is now. Like, the influencers are going to be doing some wacky stuff.
There's going to be so many TikTokers out there with dumb questions.
Yeah.
So many dumb questions.
But they have a dumb audience that will love it, though.
Yeah, well, everyone's just looking for clippable moments is what it is. So they're just going to be looking for a reporter to say, hey, what's your take on? And then it's going to be like a dumb thing.
Yeah.
Trying to get them to react, get an interaction.
You know what I like? I like when reporters ask players about stuff from the past. Like, what is this? Do you know the name of this? I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's funny and lets you know that these are young dudes out there. I love that kind of stuff.
Oh, you know what else stood out to me from B-Walt was talking about what he's seen on film so far from New England and likening it to we know the Seahawks offense can be really good, but it's typically overlooked. Just kind of keeping that in mind when it came to the Patriots defense. Like, hey, do not overlook this defense. They're very, very good. They're sticky in coverage. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, the Patriots, they're a well-rounded team. You can make fun of the schedule all you want to. They won those games, and they've won big. They've won some tight ones. The defense has played well. The offense has played well. Respect thy opponent.
All right, still to come. Are the Eagles cooking something up? Maybe making a big move. That's coming up when we take a look around the NFL at 12:30. Robert Turbin is going to join us at 1 p.m. And before we get to any of that, did our very own Brock Heward, former Husky, famous Husky, keep Tom Brady from going to Washington? What? That's next on your home for the Super Bowl-bound Seahawks, Seattle Sports, and the Seattle Sports app.
Doubted.
More questions about Sam Darnold.
Underestimated.
I would say 10-7.
Questioned at every turn.
The question mark on this team is the offensive line.
Well, I think it was a swing and a miss week one.
They're trying to find exactly who they are and what they are.
We did not care. It's about us. It's always been about us and what we do. And now we're going to the Super Bowl.
The only place you'll hear Steve Rabel call the Seahawks and Patriots in Super Bowl 60 is on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Do you have a car sitting around collecting dust? Well, turn that car into cash at Wayscar Ford in Auburn. Not only will they purchase your vehicle today and pay you right up front, but it gets better because once they resell your old car, they share 50% of their profit with you. I caught up with my friend Mark Clymer from Wayscar Ford in Auburn. He said customers are loving it. They're getting top dollar for their car up front. They're getting paid right now. And the best part is when Mark and his team resell that vehicle, their customer is getting 50% of the profit. And that 50% has now amounted to over $1 million shared with customers. It's going so well because less and less people are comfortable trying to sell their car themselves. Wayscar Ford offers a way to get a lot more money for your vehicle without having to go through all the hassle and potential scams of trying to sell it yourself. It's only at Wayscar Ford Isuzu in Auburn. WayscarFord.com.
We've all been there. Sleepless nights, mind racing, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Video security, burglar alarms, fire alarms, access control, 24/7 monitoring, and more. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy, knowing we're here for you, your people, and your business. Visit BayAlarm.com to talk to a local security expert. Bay Alarm, we got you.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Our number one thing with them is always like, hey, welcome someone in and assure them that they're in the right place. We're going to take care of them.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it today to carsforkids.org. Call 1-877-CARS4KIDS. Donation is super easy and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call 1-877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today. That's cars with a K.
Guys, low energy, low drive, or strength not what it used to be? For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, start with a free T-Check exam and consultation to get real answers. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. Call 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply. Must medically qualify.
And the Seahawks are going back to the Super Bowl.
Home of the Seahawks in Super Bowl 60. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Big tax changes this year could mean a bigger refund, and Jackson Hewitt knows how to get you your biggest. You'll get $100 just to try us. That won't make you filthy rich, but definitely gas plus groceries rich. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back, which would make you low-key loaded. Or at least wealthy adjacent? Go with our trusted pros and get $100 to switch. Rest easy. Jackson Hewitt's got your taxes. Guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Big tax changes this year could mean a bigger refund, and Jackson Hewitt knows how to get you your biggest. You'll get $100 just to try us. That won't make you filthy rich, but definitely gas plus groceries rich. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back, which would make you low-key loaded. Or at least wealthy adjacent? Go with our trusted pros and get $100 to switch. Rest easy. Jackson Hewitt's got your taxes. Guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-897-4400. That's 800-897-4400.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
Taking a look around the timeline. We're going to start right here, though. Did our very own Brock Huard, noted Husky, keep the Tom Brady from becoming a Washington Husky? I'm going to be really upset, and I am really upset because it sure sounds like that might be the case. So this was during Brady's interview on Seattle Sports, Brock and Salk, earlier this morning.
You know what? You and I I've obviously followed you. We've been the same age, and I remember being recruited, being recruited out of high school. And you chose Washington pretty early in your journey. And that was one of the West Coast schools that I obviously loved, like we all did. but they were off the board. But I knew who Brock Heward was, and then obviously getting the chance to play with your brother at the Patriots was one of the great highlights of my career. He's just a wonderful man and father and person. He taught me a lot about football, so I owe a lot to the Heward family.
We are all lucky to have the Hewards as a very prominent sports family here in Washington, and we love Brock Heward. What do you mean Tom was going to come to Washington? Brock!
Hey, Brock was like, I'm going to do me. I'm the hometown hero. Y'all are Vikings. What's good?
Brock said, me in this arm?
Hey.
Me, the Southpaw, Brock Heward?
And I'm sure Brock was a higher recruit than Tom Brady at the time, too.
Probably.
I don't think Tom Brady was highly recruited.
It's just wild, those like sliding doors moments. I think Brock should have got Tom to come here too.
Yeah.
You know?
No.
I want those school ties.
We got our Brock, man.
No.
We got our Brock.
Well, we have Brock.
Yeah. He's a state local. That's my dog.
Oh, got it. I thought maybe you were siding with us dogs.
I mean, y'all got him, but I think the
we
region,
have that's true. That's true. We're better for having Brock, but it would have been very cool to maybe if Brock brought Tom with him. Maybe Brock was like, "Why don't you can still come here. You can still go." You know? It'd be pretty nice to have that current connection.
That'd be interesting.
The school would be pretty cool.
Husky fans are loving this because it's just another thing that's not theirs that they can claim.
Why do you hate the Huskies so much?
It's so easy.
It's
so easy.
We've never done anything to you.
Sure, conference for like 40 years.
You hate the Huskies more than any Coug I've met in my entire life, Curtis.
Good.
It is wild. It's just, you know what? Fine. Go ahead and make fun of our half title. I don't even care.
Half title and non-commitment from
you know
the greatest quarterback of all time.
And it is more titles than Oregon has now. So that's fine. Congratulations.
Was Brock on that team? He wasn't on that team.
No, that was
that was
way
after.
before.
Mario Bailey was, though. Every time I talk about the split championship, he sends me a text.
Yeah.
Big up, Mario.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys be hating on that title.
It's fun.
Our title.
It's fun to hate. It's fun to hate.
And Curtis, you know what really grinds my gears? Arizona basketball is so good all the time, and you guys are wonderful right now.
Yeah.
You can't just enjoy it in peace.
I'm enjoying it just fine back here.
Hey, who's that freshman that's
Possibly
balling for y'all?
sniping.
Braden Burries? Yeah, we got Koa Pete as well.
Mind your business.
Man, fun year.
Oh, God.
Rolling
Indiana
through
Pacers
everybody.
star Tyrese Halliburton won a gold medal with Team USA at the 2024 Olympics while mostly coming off the bench on Tuesday. He gave a hilarious recount of the moment it dawned on him that he wasn't going to play much during those Olympics.
So we're at the Olympics. We're in the back doing film before the Olympics start. And before it starts, it's like, all right, we're going to have the team meeting where we acknowledge that all 12 guys cannot play. And so Steve starts talking about how everybody can't play. And Brian is talking about how, you know, in the 04 Olympics, I didn't really play that much. And you got to put your pride aside. It's about bigger than you. And Katie's over there like, at the end of the day, we're 12 All-Stars. Everybody's good. You know, we're just trying to win, right? And I'm sitting there and I'm listening. I'm like, yeah. And as we start film, I'm like, but who are they talking about? Like, who are these? And I'm looking around. I'm like, oh, he ain't talking about him. He ain't talking about him. I'm like, oh, they talking about me. I'm sitting there. I'm like, oh, no, this is what it is. I was like, oh, I was sitting there. I'm watching film. I can't even pay attention to film. I'm like, damn, it's over. It's over, man. Oh, I ain't get no PT out here.
Love the idea of him looking around the room like, man, that sucks. That sucks for whoever they're talking about.
I know that
really
feeling.
Funny.
I know that feeling, man. I remember prepping for the Hawks, right? I got called up. Nate went down with a knee injury. I'm in Pullman watching the game. I was practice squad, right? And he goes down. I literally have like a 40 in my hand. I'm like, I'm playing next week. I put the 40 down. And I'm like, I got to start cleansing, you know what I mean? And then we go to the meeting, and they're talking about just install. And they're talking to every receiver but me. And I'm like, dang.
I'm not playing.
I'm just here just in case. You know what I mean? Just in case. I'll just catch my punts.
You pick the 40 back
just
up.
Just in case. You know what I mean? But I feel him. It's funny. You got to be able to laugh at it, man, because there's levels to this, man.
Yeah.
Like, he knew. Brian, KD, like, he knew. I'm in the film room with Dion and Bobby. I'm like, yeah, I'm here. I'm just in case.
I love that image. I was thinking like that little Sasquatch moment of like, did I just get drafted? That was me. That was you. Just me. I'm playing for the Seahawks right now.
Nate is down. I put the 40 down, stood up. Hey, let's go back home right now. Let's leave.
I gotta lift. I got to go lift. Paul Feinbaum's callers are in a league of their own, and Vance from Georgia is the latest example.
Hey, Paul. This is an interesting call. About 2 minutes ago, a tree just fell through my bedroom.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah? And I'm a little bit in shock, I guess. I'm in another part of the home, and I heard and, of course, felt this noise. And also heard this boom.
So your first inclination was to wait to go on the Feinbaum show? Was that it?
I don't know what else the hell to do. Didn't hurt either one of my dogs, and I'm like, well, there's nothing I can do right this second. That's why I didn't hang up the phone and panic. So my point is, didn't LSU last year, you know these facts and I don't, didn't they have like the largest portal class or one of the biggest ones coming
sure
in?
Did. Most certainly
Oh, my
they did.
God, I love that call so much. I need to start saying, I didn't know what else the hell to do.
You know, like that. Well, the tree's already in the house.
Anyways, my question for you, Paul.
That's awesome. This is when I love the Feinbaum show. You know, moments like that.
I really appreciate just the idea that he's right. Well, this tree fell through my house, and no one's hurt. I can't lift it up, and I'm still listening to my show. And I got a question about LSU, so I'm going to ask it.
That's commitment. That's commitment right there. I appreciate
Love
that.
it so much. I just love Paul's response. We got a clip like, oh, my God. Oh, my God. It looks like Giannis could be on his way out of Milwaukee. Speaking of, oh, my God. That's from Shams Charania. He says, that news exactly. Two-time MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo is ready for a new home in the February 5th NBA trade deadline or the offseason. Several rival teams have made aggressive offers to the Bucks for him. The franchise is starting to listen.
One, I will never say Giannis's last name. I feel like I'll jack it up every time. Two, it's time for him to go. Get up out of there. You've given that team a championship, two-time MVP. There's nothing else to do there, man. The crowd is booing him. He's booing back to the crowd. It is a wrap. Giannis, get out of there. And the Bucks, get what you can before this trade deadline. You can get so much for Giannis. Start all over. And you know what, Giannis? Los Angeles is a great place. It's a beautiful place. You should look into it.
A question for both you and Curtis. Which team would you genuinely be interested in / love to see Giannis land on? Bump, you can't say the Lakers.
Why not?
Because you can't.
That's my squad.
They're not going to get it.
They're not.
What
but
team,
would
and
I love
conversely,
it?
what's the opposite? A team where you're like, this wouldn't even be fun. I don't even want to
The
see him
Lakers,
in there.
that
That's
answer,
fine. I'll accept that
yeah.
answer. Bump.
Yeah, OKC. Like, I don't want to see that. Those dudes are already set for the next 10 years.
Yeah. Curtis,
about-
what team would you want to see?
I'd love to see him on San Antonio because no one could get a shot off
That
against
would
him
be
and Victor
ridiculous.
Wembanyama. And San Antonio's got a lot of cap space because they're all young guys.
I say mix it up in the East. Go to New York with the Knicks. Knicks have been. When's the last time they got a championship? In the 60s?
73, I think. Yeah.
Goodness
I don't
gracious.
think anyone in the world was born yet.
Anyone in the world.
Anyone in the world, Craig. Hall of Fame head coach Jimmy Johnson is heated about voters leaving out Bill Belichick in his first year of eligibility, telling the Pat McAfee Show they've tarnished the entire process.
Well, first of all, I think this tarnishes everything in the Hall of Fame. All of the inductees, everybody in the Hall of Fame, just because of 10 or 11 or 12 ignorant, jealous who did not vote for him. I think it tarnishes everything about the Hall of Fame.
I mean, I don't know that it tarnishes everything about the Hall of Fame, but it's certainly a horrible look and was very surprising news.
The only reason I will accept is that people are really butthurt about the Spygate and Deflategate. Because he clearly
Real cheating scandal.
was cheating.
Yeah.
Right?
Got in trouble for it.
But here's the thing. We all have film on our opponents, and what he was getting from practice, I'm sure it helped. It's not going to be the deciding factor if you win or lose a ball game. It's going to help you. So I get that. But they paid their fines, and even after that, he still won Super Bowl championships. He still is the winningest coach or second winningest coach in the NFL. He still has the most division titles of all time. He still has the most playoff wins of all time. I mean, if you're that butthurt about the Spygate and Deflategate, okay. But for me, I think he should be in.
He oversaw the last modern dynasty. I mean, unless you want to count the Chiefs, which you certainly can, and many people do. But that spanned for 20 years. And I think I saw some people making really stupid arguments about, like, well, without Brady, he never won. Oh, like, what is a head coach going to do? It's like talking about a pilot without an airplane. Yeah, without Brady. What do you mean?
You're always connected to your personnel.
You're always connected. Like, there are so many Hall of Fame coaches that you're going to have a hard time separating from their guy. In fact, isn't there that stat about a coach that's won a Super Bowl with one team has never gone to another team and won a Super Bowl? Congratulations on Tom Brady for doing that, but that you don't get to use Tom Brady winning with the Bucs to eliminate any coach from Hall of Fame consideration again. That's stupid.
That Bucs defense was crazy that year, too.
Absolutely crazy. All right, coming up next, something we absolutely cannot overlook when it comes to the New England Patriots. On your home for the Super Bowl-bound Seahawks, Seattle Sports, and the Seattle Sports app.
Holy smokes! For 40 years, he's been part of the soundtrack of summer across the Pacific Northwest.
The Griffeys with back-to-back home runs!
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports, congratulates Rick Riz.
Everybody scores!
Season 41 may be his last, but it promises to be one to remember.
Riz, the smoothest voice in the game. He deserves to go out on top.
Don't miss a minute of Rick Riz calling Mariners baseball on Seattle Sports.
Did you know in Washington State, you can see a physical therapist without a referral from your doctor? That's right. Thanks to Direct Access, you can skip the wait and get the care you need right away. Shannon O'Kelly, how has Direct Access changed the game?
Direct Access for us, Brock, is a game changer. Why? Is because there is so much research and data out there that says if you get in early when you have a musculoskeletal problem or an injury, the earlier you get in and we can start care, the better outcomes and the decreased downstream cost, okay? So it's so important. Our providers are all doctors of physical therapy. They're all trained to identify situations and problems. They've got the skill, they've got the talent, they've got the knowledge. If you get in and start therapy early, we're going to get you back to activity, pain-free, and moving and having fun.
Fast, easy, effective. Direct Access is your path to better movement, starting with a single step. Visit irgpt.com to schedule your appointment today. irgpt.com.
Hi, Flo here from Progressive. You know, life changes quickly, so it's good to have flexible coverage. Oh, you mean like adding another vehicle? Yes, that's something we can do. Great, because I was thinking about getting a van so we could just keep the kids' softball stuff in the car. Oh, we don't need to get into specifics. Just saying it's easy to change. Oh, and Hannah wants to try the tuba. Again, we don't need the specifics.
Last year, she wanted to be a tap dancer, but that only lasted 2 lessons.
Okay.
But she kept the shoes because they are adorable.
Well, just know that with Progressive, you can easily add another car to your auto insurance because we know life changes.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. JD Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store and online. And now, the more you buy, the more you save on beds, bases, and more. Plus, get free home delivery on most beds with base. Limited time. For JD Power 2025 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Check it out at the Sleep Number store today.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Do you like helping others? Become a Shiva volunteer. In Lewis County, join the hundreds of volunteers across Washington state who help over 90,000 people each year with their Medicare options and questions. You don't have to know Medicare. We'll teach you. And if you're bilingual, even better. For more information and how to apply, call Shiva at 1-800-562-6900 or go to insurance.wa.gov.
Sponsored by the Office of the Insurance Commissioner and aired by the Washington State Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Home of the NFC champion Seahawks.
We are going to the Super Bowl.
Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
Let's talk about hockey. Don't you love a sport where it's almost fair game to throw off your gloves and bare knuckle it in that gray area? Hockey brings excitement, intensity, passion, often drinking. It's like a party with a puck. If you enjoy too many shots at the bar while watching slap shots on the ice, don't try to make a breakaway because the police won't just stonewall your goal. They're much more likely to throw you in that penalty box. And it won't be just a few minutes to think about what you did. Go ahead, enjoy cracking one open. Just don't overdo it. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com for your free private consultation. Hockey is one of the only sports where you can wrap around the goal and there's no out of bounds. But the roadway is a different story. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY!
You know, this is one of those topics that no one really wants to think about, but if you're a parent, a homeowner, married, or helping take care of aging parents, it's something that honestly deserves a little attention. I'm talking about estate planning. And before you tune out thinking it's complicated or expensive, that's actually why I want to mention Trust and Will. Trust and Will makes estate planning feel way less intimidating than it sounds. They offer modern, attorney-designed wills and trusts that you can create online. And the process is surprisingly straightforward. In fact, you can create a will in as little as 30 minutes. That includes things like guardianship for your kids or pets, how your assets are distributed, and even healthcare directives. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your loved ones with Trust and Will, the most trusted name in online estate planning. Go to trustandwill.com/game to get 20% off. That's trustandwill.com/game for 20% off. trustandwill.com/GAME.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We are going to spend most of next week previewing Super Bowl 60. Like whatever interviews we don't end up having and fun conversations kind of aside, we are going to be looking a ton at the Patriots to understand exactly the challenges or opportunities facing Seattle. So we took an early look with Bryan Walters, who joined us earlier this hour, and we said, hey, what's one thing that stands out? This is what Bryan said.
I think the offense and Drake May gets a lot of their headlines. And to me, it's almost a reversal of the Seahawks, right? The Seahawks defense gets all the headlines, and you don't talk about this offense very much, where I think it's almost like the opposite for the Patriots, where I feel like the defense deserves a lot of credit, and they're good. They're a really good defense, a top 5 defense in the league. You look at what they've done in the playoffs so far, and I know that there has been weather situations that have helped them. You know, makes it easier on defenses because it makes offenses struggle, especially last week against the Broncos with the whole whiteout in the second half. But this defense is good. I mean, it is really good, and it'll be a challenge.
Through today, or rather through the end of this season, so up until obviously the Super Bowl, Seattle is number 1 in points limited, which is really impressive and cool. Houston, number 3, Denver, number 4, and right there at number 2 behind the Seattle Seahawks, New England. Bryan's right.
Yeah.
We spend all this time talking about Drake May. Diggs, obviously, a ton of attention, is a really big name. Maybe Mike Vrabel for just turning the team around, and he's a very likable head coach even before being with New England, obviously. This defense does not get the attention it deserves, and it may be one of the tougher secondaries that Seattle is going to face all season, excluding a Texans team they've already faced.
Yeah, no, it's solid defense. You got a head coach over there in Varel, and they fly around to the football. They're disciplined. They get after the quarterback. You mentioned their secondary is on point. There's going to be a matchup between Jason and Gonzalez that people are waiting to see. No, it's a good football team. I know we are confident that the Hawks are going to be able to get this done, but if this team is to hang around late in the game, it's going to be because of the defense, of this defense. But can't sleep on an offense as well. You got Diggs over there. Stevenson's a running back, They're just not flashy.
Yeah.
You know, I think with the Seahawks, you look at this team, and we're a bit flashy over here. You got all these personalities on defense. You got JSN, who's a flashy. It's weird. He's like a quiet flashy. Like, he's flashy, but he's not like over the top with it. Yeah, it's smooth with it. You have personalities over here to whereas the Patriots are getting back to their old Patriot way, right? Lunch pail, head down, show up, come to work.
Yeah.
Like, other than Diggs and all his drama off the field, you don't really hear much about the Patriots and their personalities over there.
Yeah, I think that it also allows us to talk about I think that that's giving a lot of Patriots fans confidence heading into this one, is they're going, hey, this group is so much better than they get credit for. They've actually been really, really good this year. And I think that's probably the conversation that all of us here in Seattle are going to start having about this Seahawks team. We know the Seahawks defense is good. I don't care that they allowed, 62 or 64 combined points to the Rams in their final 2 meetings. That's a bummer. That's not great. But they have been a shutdown defense against pretty much everyone else, and I have a lot of faith in the players on that side of the ball. I think the offense does not get the attention it deserves, and I feel even more confident about that unit, specifically after this game against the Rams. I know it's one game, but it also was a really high-pressure game against a good Rams defense. Not the best defense they faced all year, but a good Rams defense.
Yeah, and it was more of a mental type thing, too. It's because, we pay more attention to it than those guys probably, but they know that the Rams have had their number over the past 2-3 seasons. They know that they're capable of getting after the quarterback and shutting things down. So there's a mental game that's played on the football field as well, at least prior to it. Once you get in it, then it's a wrap. But the reason why I'm feeling this offense more than I have before is because if you just look at, say, the last, 3 games of the year. Last 3 games of the year, you've played the Niners, the Rams. All right, you grinded out a 13-3 win that felt more dominant than the score says. You blew them out 41-6, and then you slayed the Dragon, who were the LA Rams. You played the Panthers before that, took care of business. I'm going back into the regular season now, and the Rams. They've won in so many different ways, right? We've seen the close games, we've seen the blowouts, and we've seen the mediocre type games. I think that throughout the course of a season, all you're doing is inputting data into your brain, into your muscle memory as a football team, into situations, right? You've had overtime wins, you've had blowouts, and I think you almost lost to a team that you shouldn't have almost lost to in the Colts. I think that stuff is good. In the moment, it's stressful, and you're going to judge the team for only winning 18-16, but they were off. They were off and still found a way to win this ball game. So because this offense has been through so much and have experienced highs in the run games, lows in the run games. Jason only having 23 yards in a game. Now he has 167. Because you've been in all these situations, you get into the actual game, the Super Bowl, there's nothing that should rattle you other than all the flashing lights before the kickoff. But once you've kicked the ball, you can be down 3-10 points, and you're not going to be rattled because you know you're capable of coming back.
Someone said this defense's numbers, this being the Patriots, are inflated. They mentioned, go through the schedule. Here's the thing that I do want to caution. Yes, they've played horrible quarterbacks. They've played teams whose coaches, multiple teams whose head coaches have since been fired. However, there is a certain line I tend to draw with, you cannot attribute all of a team's accomplishments to just playing bad opponents. You cannot, because you're going to get yourself into a situation where you think you're playing an easy game, and you're not. It's a Super Bowl. These are the final 2 games remaining. And I think that would be totally fair if the Patriots were 20th in points allowed, and you were and that's with playing the Jets twice, and that's with playing all these bad teams, and a Lamar Jackson-less Ravens team or whatever. They're second. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
This is going to be tough. Christian Gonzalez is no joke.
No, they got ballers. Respect it.
So I favor Seattle in this one. Across the board, I think people favor Seattle in this one, but these are no slumps. The New England Patriots, I don't think they're as complete a team. I don't think they're as elite a team as Seattle. They have very good players, a very good coach, a very good coordinator, and a very good secondary.
Other than the Rams, they're the most well-rounded team.
Yeah.
They were the most well-rounded team in the playoffs.
Now, we are going to jump a ton into previews for the rest of this week. Obviously, the huddle tomorrow, we're going to be able to do that. And then leading up to the Super Bowl all week long, Monday through Friday, where we're going to be out at Radio Row, obviously, with the chance to interview people about the team. So certainly not the last time we're going to talk about it, but where I wanted to start, just kind of do not overlook that defense when we're talking about the Patriots. We're all talking about Drake May. We're all talking about Vrabel, but don't overlook the defense. Coming up next, earlier in the show, we talked about how this 2025 Seahawks team is different. Let's talk about who's responsible for that difference. Next, on your home for the Super Bowl-bound Seahawks, Seattle Sports, and the Seattle Sports app.
Doubted.
More questions about Sam Darnold.
Underestimated.
I would say 10-7.
Questioned at every turn.
The question mark on this team is the offensive line.
Well, I think it was a swing and a miss week 1.
They're trying to find exactly who they are and what they are.
We did not care. It's about us. It's always been about us and what we do. And now we're going to the Super Bowl.
The only place you'll hear Steve Rabel call the Seahawks and Patriots in Super Bowl 60 is on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from IQ Bar. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at eatiqbar.com/policy/terms of service.
Hi, I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, ultra-low sugar brain and body fuel. Our IQ Bar plant protein bars help you refuel smarter. Our IQ Mix Zero Sugar Hydration Mixes help you hydrate harder. And our IQ Joe Instant Mushroom Coffees help you caffeinate larger. All three product lines boost physical performance, but they also boost mental performance via nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane. Right now, you can try our epic IQ Bar Ultimate Sampler Pack with 9 protein bars, 8 hydration mixes, and 4 coffee sticks. Win your day with clean ingredients, amazing taste, and superior brain and body nutrition. Try IQ Bar today.
Get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping when you text IQ Bar to 64,000. Text IQ Bar to 64,000 to get this exclusive radio offer. That's IQ Bar to 64,000.
Your windows and doors play a huge role in your home's efficiency and comfort. Choose Lake Washington Windows and Doors for windows that are up to 25% more energy efficient than Energy Star standards and reduce noise by up to 50%. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com today.
Gear up for the big game at Simply Seattle. Shop official Seahawks playoffs gear and custom Simply original designs. Shop in-store or online and enter to win a $1,000 shopping spree now at simplyseattle.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Brock Ewart here with my buddy Shannon O'Kelly from IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Shannon, we met about a decade ago when you came into the studio, and at that point, IRG was humming, but you were not 40 locations strong all over the neighborhood. How have you done this and why?
Number one, Brock, great people. Our strength here at IRG is our people. Secondly, we are a company that has a culture of giving back and taking care of our patients, taking care of our team, and thirdly, taking care of our community. We want to be your family physical therapist. More importantly, we want to be your family's neighborhood physical therapist. We want you to come in, have a great experience, and get better and get out there and be pain-free and function.
Take care of your friends. Taking care of your neighbors, taking care of your community, and taking care of Western Washington. With over 40 locations now, that's exactly what IRG Physical and Hand Therapy is doing. Find them in person, find them online at irgpt.com. That's irgpt.com.
Life's expensive enough, isn't it? Groceries, gas, kids' activities. Sometimes your roof needs replacing, but your budget says not now. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We want to help with an offer to lift that weight off your shoulders. Get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. Or save up to $3,000 on a new roof today. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Big tax changes this year could mean a bigger refund, and Jackson Hewitt knows how to get you your biggest. You'll get $100 just to try us. That won't make you filthy rich, but definitely gas plus groceries rich. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back, which would make you low-key loaded. Or at least wealthy adjacent? Go with our trusted pros and get $100 to switch. Rest easy. Jackson Hewitt's got your taxes. Guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Is Aaron Rodgers staying in the NFL? New Steelers head coach Mike McCarthy says he wants Rodgers back as Pittsburgh's quarterback in 2026. The Browns have their new head coach. They're hiring former Ravens OC Todd Monken to the role.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. To open the show, we talked about how the 2025 Seahawks team is different. Basically, we said, look, every single year the Seahawks have entered the season wanting to get to and win a Super Bowl. There have been no severe rebuilds. There have been no massive step backs behind John Schneider when Pete Carroll was here, and certainly not when Mike McDonald took over. So why has it been 11 years since they've been to a Super Bowl? What's different about this team? What helped get them back there? We decided on a general cohesion with the team, improvements in the trenches, an execution and a game plan that matched the philosophy. You talked about improvement with play calling, quarterback play, all of that. So that's what we settled on in terms of what's different about this team or special about this team. Now let's talk about how they actually made it different and who deserves credit. You said, Bump, it's time to give John Schneider his flowers.
Give him his flowers, and finally the NFL gave him his flowers, Executive of the Year. Easy decision for me. Yeah, because you got to make – it's a constant evolution, right? You're always trying to improve your team. You are always trying to help your coach run his scheme, and sometimes you got to get the wrong coach out this piece. And those aren't easy decisions to make. Like when you decide to step away from a guy who's been there 14 years.
Right. 14
years, a guy who hired you essentially. Mm-hmm. I'm sure John didn't sleep good that night, the night before, knowing what was going to happen. And then after that, because if there's any organization that has shown loyalty, it's organizations like the Seahawks, it's like the Steelers, Baltimore, where guys hang around for a long time. Now you got to have success or you're not going to hang around for a long time. But no, it's tough. And then it's putting the right group of guys together. Everyone in the NFL is talented. Everybody's talented, even the kickers. Everybody is talented.
Wow.
So you got to have the right group of talent together with the right coaching, with the right philosophy, and John plays a huge role in that.
Let's talk about some of the decisions he made. Trading DK Metcalf to the Steelers. Now, even if DK is the one who wanted out, you still had to make the move, find the right picks, and then do something with those picks. Here's what happened. They used the second-round pick to package with their original pick, trade up for Nick Emanwari.
Mm-hmm.
That's massive. DK Metcalf being traded turned into Nick Emanwari. You traded Geno Smith to the Raiders, saved yourself a little bit of cash, certainly in 2026. You signed Sam Darnold as a free agent. Best free agent signing of the 2025 free agent class, easily. You signed DeMarcus Lawrence and Cooper Kupp. Let's pause. These were two older players who had done wonderful things for their previous organizations. Cooper Kupp, Super Bowl winner, Triple Crown winner, Super Bowl MVP. Well, Rams don't want you anymore. That sucks. I'd take offense to it. I'd be bothered by it. DeMarcus Lawrence had been phenomenal for the Cowboys. Mm-hmm. They still needed help. They had one of the league's worst defenses this year. They didn't keep him. These were two guys that, in hindsight, were so clearly a great fit for Seattle in very different ways. But the rest of the league, even in the offseason, were like, they're old. If they're old.
Yeah, the thing with Cooper Kupp and DeMarcus Lawrence is that there's always someone fresh out of college who has potential and who is cheaper, right? You got the best out of Cooper Kupp, had the second best season of receivers ever had. DeMarcus Lawrence put in a decade. And sometimes when you're around a person for a certain amount of time, like you kind of lose really who they are. You think you have them all figured out and say, this is what he can do, especially when you have these shiny new toys coming out of college every single year and saying the potential there, right? We know what he can do, and he's costing too much money. Let's go the younger route. And that's the circle of life in the NFL. It's going to happen that way. Sometimes older players just need to be understood a bit more and put in the right situation. And I think that's what happened with DeMarcus Lawrence and Cooper Kupp. With DeMarcus Lawrence, I just think he was rejuvenated. Like the way he's playing football right now, he looks like a 25-year-old. With Cooper Kupp, it was more like, okay, less responsibility, but let me be great at what I'm great at. And what is that? That's being a great blocker, having clutch. I want to say most of Cooper Kupp's catches, minus his last touchdown, there's like defenders all over him. You know, like I got to make this clutch catch. Don't run me down the field 50 times anymore, okay? I'm old. All right, but what I can do is run across the middle, sit down in space, make the play, run a corner, and be clutch. Cooper Kupp's role is to be clutch, and he's been exactly that. DeMarcus Lawrence's role is to wreck stuff up, and he's been exactly that. And sometimes you get around a new group of people, and you get rejuvenated. And I think that's what's happened, especially with DeMarcus Lawrence. Cooper Kupp, it's going to be Cooper Kupp anywhere, and so is DeMarcus Lawrence, but it still has to be the right mix.
One of the things that we talked about in the open in terms of what was different about this team was they made actual significant investment in the trenches and improvement with the trenches. Sam Darnold was sacked, I think, around 25, 26 times this season leading up to now. He was sacked 48 times last year for Minnesota.
Yeah.
I thought that the offensive line he'd be behind here in Seattle would be worse than the Vikings last year, who had question marks on the interior. Nope, not at all. He was behind a line that was significantly better with pass pro, especially, and has since improved with run blocking. Drafting Gray Zabel at number 18, another check on John Schneider's offseason resume.
Yeah, and that's the factory, right? Now you go young. You get the old heads in here, and then you find the young guys who are going to fit your scheme. What I loved about Gray Zabel, too, man, I saw him during the Senior Bowl. It's the way he moves, like in space. As soon as I saw him moving in space, I felt like he was going to be a good fit for these guys, especially with running that wide zone or whatnot. You got to have great feet in this whole deal. Gray Zabel's been great. I believe he's he started every game. I don't think he's played every snap. There was a snap or two where he was out. But he's top 10 when it comes to snaps for rookies. And if you can get a guy, you got to be lucky, right? You got to be healthy. But if you can get a guy who you can insert right now and go, that's great. And linemen are typically like that. Like you throw in a lineman right now because they're so hard to find. But Gray has lived up to expectations.
Let's talk about midseason trades. Now, I could talk about previous midseason trades that John Schneider, who I think is especially adept at this, has knocked out of the park. Quandre Diggs was a midseason trade. Dwayne Brown was a midseason trade. Bringing in Carlos Dunlap from the Bengals, who rarely make deals, was a midseason trade. Curtis, I'm sure there's some that I'm totally blanking on that were great midseason trades, but obviously I'm settling on Rashid Shaheed here as being a massive addition. Got you back into that game against the Rams.
You know what's
pivotal return.
You know what's a low-key move? He ain't even with us no more. Darion Kendricks, like picking him up and having him, inserting him right now, producing at like 2 picks.
That's what I'm saying.
Could have had like 4, and guys got healthy, and now he's with the Rams. Like even little moves like that, you always got to be ready to pivot. It seems like John's always ready for that.
He's always really great, like waiver wire pickups, mid-season trades, just having a good feeling for like this guy adds value, and this team is going to be willing to move on from him. I've got a couple late picks to deal. I think he's just exceptionally underrated with that.
Josh Jobe? Like Josh Jobe is getting starter like reps these days. And a couple years ago, I don't even know where he came. I know he went to Alabama. I don't know where he was before the Eagles. I think he was with the Eagles. Diamond in the rough, finding a guy who no one really talked about, who's a contributor now.
Yeah, your Zach Bond, not Josh Jobe directly, but the idea of finding someone that wasn't on everyone's radar. Now, that isn't the case for like a midseason pickup like Rashid. Like a lot of people were talking about, could Rashid Shaheed land elsewhere? What's going to happen there? Same with Chris Olave, who didn't. But yeah, just there were so many moves, and that's only this year. I mean, we could look at last year, bringing in Ernest Jones, right? Drafting Byron Murphy. The year before, Leonard Williams. JSN, Devin Witherspoon. Like, there have been so many wins in terms of front office moves for the last 3 seasons.
I think one of the hardest things he had to do as well is letting Tyler Lockett go, too. Because Tyler Lockett, one of the greatest human beings to ever put on a Seahawk uniform. We talk about the additions and him bringing guys over. But, man, having that conversation with a guy like Tyler Lockett, I'm sure he has it with undrafted free agents and guys on the totem pole all the time. I'm sure he cares about them, but when a guy puts in 8, 9, 10 years with the organization and is considered one of the best to do it, those are tough decisions as well, man. Honestly, I think the Geno one was a bit easier for him. Honestly, I think Geno was like, all right, you want to be here?
Geno was like, great, I don't like it here anyway.
Right,
now, you did do it again. Someone said, rest in peace, Darion Hendricks.
Did I?
I think you did say he was no longer with us. I think you might have said he's no longer here.
He's no longer.
He's not here anymore.
I can say, wait, he's just not on the team anymore.
No, I think you should actually stay with it. I think that should be part of your brand. When someone's not on the team anymore because they got traded or signed elsewhere or, just didn't come back or retired, it should be who's no longer with us.
No longer with us.
Because it's just kind of, I think it's just what we hear now. Darion Hendricks no longer with us.
I can't get away from it.
What happened? Okay, I want to get to a couple points here with the text line. Someone said that the data's there. Pete handicapped this man, being John, when here. Just look at the last 2 drafts and how many contributors are part of this team's success. So I want to pause on this point. Thank you, Mike in the 206, for listening, for texting. Appreciate you. I think now I don't have perfect insight into every single pick that was John's, every single pick that was Pete's. I have heard rumors about, maybe a coach here and there pushing for a certain guy that didn't end up working out and then wondered, was that someone John wanted? Did John want someone else? I've heard rumors of guys that John did like who weren't drafted, who succeeded elsewhere, blah, blah, blah. However, as a forward-facing duo, Pete and John made it very clear that they had to be in lockstep with a lot of these picks.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think that naturally, as 2 different minds with different personalities, there were disagreements there, that John might have wanted something and Pete had veto power? Yeah, for sure. But I also think it takes away from the great moves that they did make together.
Mm-hmm.
That entire Legion of Boom defense drafted together. So you don't get to undo the good stuff and say only the bad stuff was Pete.
Nah.
Secondly, I think it also takes away what I feel is one of the more impressive things to me about John Schneider, the ability to admit some mistakes and correct them. If you pretend that he's always gotten it right, well, then that takes away any weight to him saying, hey, here's where I learned.
And what do you do? How do relationships work, right? You have to compromise. Every relationship, there are going to be things that you don't like about that other person, about a decision that was made or whatnot. And sometimes you just be like, all right, what do you want to eat? I don't feel like eating Chinese food. You want to eat Chinese? All right, we'll eat Chinese.
Yeah.
Okay. But next time, we go into the steakhouse.
Right.
I'm sure that has happened when it comes to these picks. You don't always see eye to eye. But yeah, I think you're right. It's important to highlight the good stuff. Because it's easy to kick a man when he's not here or when he's down and say,
right.
yep,
it's
Pete.
easy to say every bad
Pete
pick
was holding him back. This is why Pete contributed a lot to this whole thing.
Richard Sherman's was here. One of the greatest corners you've ever seen in a Seahawks uniform was here in part because of Pete Carroll too.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's highlight. You gotta highlight the good and what Pete brought to this thing too.
And again, everyone gave John the hardest time for in an interview saying we tend to overpay guards. Everyone gave him the hardest time, and then he took a guard with his first pick. That to me is maybe not an outright correction of a philosophy. I'm sure that if you were to ask him, he'd still have other position groups that he'd put above an interior offensive lineman. And so does the rest of the league, because interior offensive linemen are not typically top picks. But I don't know, man. In 15 years, you're going to have missteps. I think all that's important is that the most recent step you make was the right one, or that you eventually got right. And I think it's cooler and more impressive and a better story that John has made mistakes and then learned from them and did things differently. And I think I think that what they've done as a front office is exceptional. I think he's deserving of his accolades, and with such a good group too. There are so many other names in that front office that deserve their flowers too, that aren't going to get them because it's just this massive group of people. But the personnel gap has been closed. I remember thinking it was so pronounced against the 49ers, against the Rams, and part of it was, the 49ers had picks from a fourth-place schedule that Seattle didn't. And so considering that Seattle hasn't had original number 5 overall, number 2 overall picks, what they've done is incredible.
Yeah, because we said this plenty of times, right? You're not bad enough to get a high pick.
Yeah.
And you're not good enough to get over the hump. So the process is going to take a little longer.
Look
it's
at the
like,
bills.
It's like when you have a recipe and you don't have everything, so you keep going back to the store, you keep forgetting something. Like, oh, I need this. Oh, I need that. Or my fellas or even ladies too, when you got a home project and you got to keep going back to Lowe's because you keep forgetting something. Oh, I need this, I need that. And then finally you put it all together and you stand back and look at it. That is what this team is. It's 100 trips to Lowe's, and now you're good.
Well, and the $1 million question, speaking of kind of always being good and needing to make these tiny moves because you can't have the big trip, that big number 1 overall pick or whatever. This is a question that you and I would always ask NFL analysts who join our show throughout the time that we've had this show. We'd be like, hey, so how do you get a lot of talent and close that gap between you and the best teams in the NFL when you don't have the number 3 overall pick? And they'd be like, I don't know. I truly don't know.
If you look at the division, we've done it different ways.
Yeah.
The Rams sold everything, built their team. The Niners were garbage, built their team that way. And the Hawks were the ones making 100 trips to Lowe's.
Yeah, well, the Hawks, I think, let's say 2 monumental additions, Charles Cross and Devin Witherspoon. You sensed that the time was right to move on from Russell Wilson and did it before people thought you should. You were panned for it. And now you've got 2 top 10 picks you wouldn't have had otherwise.
Yep.
Right? Like, it was also having a good barometer for when it was time to move on. Something that they lacked earlier in their tenure. I don't know. I think you were right to point out that John deserves his flowers and to take some time out. If we were going to talk about what's different about this team, well, let's talk about who was driving some of those decisions, right?
Yep.
Lots of credit to Mike McDonald. We've already given lots of credit to Sam after that game. Let's talk about the engineer and the group around turning this team around. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, rewrite!
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1, Bill Belichick was not voted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in his first year of eligibility. What's the real headline?
Look, considering he had to wait 49 years for his girlfriend to be born, 1 year wait is a walk in the park.
That's wild.
I got to give credit to Curtis who wrote that one.
49
so
years.
funny.
49 years. That's wild, man.
You are old enough to be her grandfather.
Yeah. Hey.
That's not really what we're talking about here. What we're talking about is Bill Belichick to be in the Hall of Fame.
Hey, but low-key respect, Bill. Your game must be on fire. But
I'll tell you what's on his wallet, and the Super Bowl rings.
The first-class seats.
Yeah.
All right. Bill Belichick, listen, he's not in because there's some writers who are salty with Spygate and Deflategate and probably the way that he spoke to them. They didn't like the way that Bill got at him. But he's an 8-time Super Bowl champion, 6 as a head coach, 3-time Coach of the Year, 2000s All-Decade Team, 2010 All-Decade Team, most playoff wins, most divisional titles, 333 career wins.
Come on.
This is the most qualified first ballot Hall of Famer on paper we've seen in NFL history. It's wild, but people hold grudges. And I think that's what we're seeing right now.
This is what Tom Brady told Brock and Salk this morning.
You know, I just think that to me, I don't understand it. I mean, I was with him every day. If he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, there's really no coach that should ever be a first ballot Hall of Famer, which is completely ridiculous because people deserve it. And he's incredible. There's no coach I'd ever want to play for. I'd rather play for. If I'm picking one coach to go out there to win a Super Bowl, give me one season, I'm taking Bill Belichick. So that's enough said. There's nothing outside of that. You know, again, when it comes down to votes and popularity and all that, then welcome to the world of voting. And you may as well go, try out for the Oscars or whatever and get a big panel to tell you if you're good or not.
Now, you can't try out for the Oscars, but I get what Tom is saying.
Try out.
I get what Tom is saying here, and he's right.
I'm trying out next week.
Yeah.
Let's do it, man.
Did you ever pretend to accept awards when you were younger?
Even weirder, man. My buddy Elmer, he used to just tell me, like, this is the situation, go. And I would go in. I'd be in the living room just acting like, oh, your dog just died or something, and your mom.
So you would do like your monologue and your audition?
I just act like my dog died. We used to do some weird stuff.
I used to pretend to accept the award without any acting that preceded it. I would just make believe when I was younger, like I'm famous. No talent to speak of to go along with it, but those were the 2 things I pretended, that I was famous and that I was a teacher and a waitress.
Nice.
Yeah.
You ever waitress?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was a horrible job.
And you're famous now. Look at you.
Yeah. Yes.
You just need to be a teacher. You
yeah,
done
totally.
everything you need to do in life.
That's my dream. Yeah. What's next?
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, the Browns are hiring former Ravens offensive coordinator Todd Monken to be their next head coach. What's the real headline?
Always good to hire the guy who famously couldn't get along with Lamar Jackson. It's a two-time MVP winner right there.
2 times, man. But he helped. Monken helped in this whole situation, too. There's no denying he's a good play caller. Was in Tampa for 3 years, Cleveland for 1, Baltimore. He's had his run offense up to 1, 2, and 3 over there with Baltimore. I think this is the safe bet. Whenever you're trying to rebuild, it's safe to go with someone who understands how to run the rock. I think that's the safest play in football is to hand the football off and let them go. And they got 2 good running backs over there in Cleveland. It's about everything else now. It's about your quarterback. It's about your receivers. You obviously have a good defense, probably the best defensive line or one of the best defensive lines in the game. Myles Garrett leads the charge there. It feels like Cleveland should be better than what they are.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully Monken can change some things.
So that's how it's felt for the longest time with Cleveland. They have had number 1 overall picks, more than I'd wager. I wonder who's had the more number 1 overall picks than any other team, Cleveland or the Jets? Got to be Cleveland.
Jets haven't had one in a while.
The Cleveland had back-to-back because Myles Garrett and Baker, were they back-to-back number 1?
Yes.
Yeah. And look at them now. Not Baker, I mean the Browns. They've done
Well,
nothing.
yeah, I was going to say both Baker Mayfield and Myles Garrett have carved out nice careers for themselves.
Yeah, but unfortunately, them in this case being the Browns, it's like you can't do anything with all this draft capital that you've always had.
So the AI says Indianapolis Colts and Los Angeles Rams have made the most first overall selections.
Yeah.
Well, they've just been around longer. No, they haven't. Cleveland's been around a long time. I'm tripping.
Well, this version of Cleveland's only been around since 98.
Yeah. They dipped out for a minute.
Someone said I give off Cheesecake Factory server vibes. I can't tell
What does that even mean?
What does that mean? What does it mean?
I find the staff at Cheesecake Factory to be very helpful.
Yeah, they're a bit more friendly.
I'm friendly. I'm friendly.
That's why they said you give those vibes.
I was a waitress. You calm down. I was a waitress at an Italian restaurant, like a little mom and pop Italian restaurant in SeaTac, Washington.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Mom
was
and
good.
pop.
You know, the best thing I thought on their menu was actually a Philly cheesesteak sandwich.
Really?
Yeah.
You make a good Philly? You got me.
Man.
I'll be back.
All right, what's next?
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 3, Steelers head coach Mike McCarthy says he wants Aaron Rodgers back as Pittsburgh's quarterback in 2026. What's the real headline?
It's really just to see if he can find out if Aaron's lying about his wife. He just needs to do a little more research, a little more intel.
Hey, I got intel in Pittsburgh, and word on the street is he definitely has a wife,
Okay.
but she's never been to the facility. So does he really have a wife?
Yeah, well, I mean, look, if word on the street from the organization is that she's real, maybe she just, I know it's hard for people to believe in 2026, maybe she has no desire whatsoever to be in the public eye. I want to know if I feel like I can rest easy knowing
then
she's
why
real.
marry Aaron Rodgers? One of the most
Because she loves
public
him.
people.
Because she loves him. They love each other.
Love is beautiful. Love is blind.
Yeah, well.
Which is not. I hate when people say that. Love is not blind.
Can I also say something
It is
about
not
Love is
blind.
Blind, the actual TV show? They have had people who meet each other and aren't super attracted to each other. Maybe they're not each other's type. It is not truly a show where, like, you got a bunch of, like, bad-looking people on it. Every single person's objectively at least an average level of attractiveness.
Yes.
That has nothing to do with Aaron Rodgers.
And love
I'm
is
just
not
saying.
blind. Love is not blind.
Okay, well,
Stop spreading those lies.
I just want to know if she's real for sure. And then I don't need to know who she is. That's a lie. I'm curious, but I don't need to know. I think what was most curious to me is, like, what if Aaron Rodgers is lying about this? He's just weird enough where he might be. Just weird enough. What's going on in Philadelphia? That's next on your home for the Super Bowl bound Seahawks, Seattle Sports, and the Seattle Sports app.
The first place where Tom Brady weighed in on Bill Belichick's Hall of Fame snub.
I don't understand it.
Seattle Sports with Brock and Salk.
If he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, there's really no coach that should ever be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's incredible. There's no coach I'd ever want to play for. I'd rather play for. If I'm picking one coach to go out there to win a Super Bowl, give me one season, I'm taking Bill Belichick.
Watch the full conversation with the 7-time Super Bowl champ on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Tons of stuff happening this January, and believe me, whatever you are into, you can have an absolute blast at Silver Reef Casino Resort. Take, for example, the playoff games. Watch every game at Porter's Bay Sports Bar and book cheer loud with 12s and enjoy a steak dinner at their steakhouse on property after. Stay the night in one of their deluxe rooms and wake up feeling like a winner. If dry January is your kick, enjoy a relaxing stay at the spa and a good night's rest. If you want to test your luck, you got winter warm-up drawings every Friday for a chance at 5 Gs and polar payouts every Saturday for a chance at 10 Gs. Claim your free daily entry at any promo kiosk on property. That's all you have to do to enter. Silver Reef Casino Resort is the spot. Check it out if you haven't. If you've been, you already know what you're missing. Stay tuned. They have the events, the big game, and a Garth Geist, a tribute band coming soon. Drive up exit 260 I-5, Silver Reef Casino Resort.
Save $600 on windows and $1,500 on doors at Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Enjoy easy zero down, zero payments, and zero interest financing for 12 months, plus a lifetime installation warranty. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com today.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends at People Come First or PCF Construction Group. Are you tired of grilling in the cold and rain every winter? Well, with a patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy your outdoor deck or patio all year long, staying warm and dry, even in the cold winter. Take advantage of off-season savings through February 15th, and you can get up to 10% off your entire project, plus 12 months with no payments and no interest. You see, most people don't consider building a deck in the winter, but if you want yours ready by next spring and summer, contact PCF right now to start planning. Spend the winter dreaming and designing your project so you're ready to build by spring. Planning and permits, they take a little time, so get started now. Get project ideas, browse the photos, and find all the offer details at PCFgroup.com. That's my friends online at PCFgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space with People Come First.
Olympic Hot Tub has terrific ways to achieve total wellness at home. Saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges, all waiting for you. See our current specials with exciting savings at OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
You know, this is one of those topics that no one really wants to think about, but if you're a parent, a homeowner, married, or helping take care of aging parents, it's something that honestly deserves a little attention. I'm talking about estate planning. And before you tune out thinking it's complicated or expensive, that's actually why I want to mention Trust and Will. Trust and Will makes estate planning feel way less intimidating than it sounds. They offer modern, attorney-designed wills and trusts that you can create online. And the process is surprisingly straightforward. In fact, you can create a will in as little as 30 minutes. That includes things like guardianship for your kids or pets, how your assets are distributed, and even healthcare directives. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your loved ones with Trust and Will, the most trusted name in online estate planning. Go to trustandwill.com/game to get 20% off. That's trustandwill.com/game for 20% off. trustandwill.com/GAME.
The only place to hear Steve Rabel and Dave Wyman call the Seahawks in the Super Bowl.
Can you believe it?
Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Brock Ewart here with Shannon O'Kelly, President and CEO of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy, inviting you to come work with IRG. And Shannon, what kind of staff are you looking for at IRG?
Brock, we're looking for all kinds of clinical staff, physical therapists, occupational therapists, athletic trainers, certified occupational therapy technicians, physical therapy assistants, you name it on the clinical side. We are looking for those folks. But we are really looking for folks that want to come to an organization that want to be part of our culture and change the culture and work with us to provide the best care and service we can to our patients, our team, and our community. So those clinical people out there, we're looking for you. We also provide advanced certification. We want to provide you mentorship. We want you to grow personally and professionally here at IRG.
With over 40 clinics throughout the Pacific Northwest, you've got the opportunity to work in the city you want. Just head over to irgpt.com/careers. That's irgpt.com/careers.
Everyone wants to get the best deal they can when they buy a car. But what about when you want to sell your car? Of course, you want to get the most money possible. But how do you get the most you can without trying to sell it yourself? Well, that's where my friends at Wayscar Ford in Auburn step in. Not only will they buy your car today, but that's just the beginning. Once they resell your old car, they send you another check for 50% of the profit of the sale of your old car. They've already given back over $750,000 to their customers. Mark, GM of Wayscar Ford, joins me, and it's such a great offer. But to clear up any confusion, is this like a consignment, and how can you offer this?
It's not a consignment, Stacy. A consignment, the dealer that's trying to sell your car hasn't paid you yet. We pay you right up front. No more insurance, no more maintenance. All that's gone. After that's done, we pay half the profit. It's that simple. There's no magic to this. All the money we're saving by not buying at auctions, the shipping fees and the travel, we're giving it back to you. That's how it works.
So get the most money possible at Wayscar Ford Isuzu in Auburn and let them do the work.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
In my most Brian Windhorse voice, what's going on in Philly? Are the Eagles cooking something up? This is in an interview with Philadelphia 97.5, The Fanatic. Schefter hinted that they could be on the verge of making a very, very, very big move.
We appreciate the time, man,
Thanks,
and we'll talk to you next week. Maybe reacting to an OC hired in Philadelphia. Maybe the smoke will come out of NovaCare. We'll find out soon.
And maybe it'll be even more than that by next week.
Yeah. Will A.J. Brown be traded?
More than that.
We didn't ask you this week.
More than that. What are you hinting at?
Maybe it'll be even more than discussion than an offense score. We'll see.
All
See
right.
what happens here the next week.
Antennas,
I'm liking this.
Antennas are up, Shefty.
All right,
Antennas are up.
Just say A.J. Brown's going to be traded, Shefty. Just say it.
He gone.
He gone.
He gone.
He gone.
He up out of there. And he should be, man. It's not pleasant over there anymore, man. And I think that they can be okay. You still have a number one receiver in Devonta Smith over there. Obviously, you got a good running back. When a receiver ain't happy, he can make life miserable for people. And that's what it feels like AJ was doing. He doesn't believe in the play calling over there, even though their OC was fired. Yeah, it's just time to move on.
Yeah, I'm not mad at him for being upset with play calling. I think so. Okay, anyways. The Athletics' Diana Rossini reported a surprising name being interviewed for the Cardinals' head coaching gig. Former Panthers and Commanders head coach Ron Rivera. Couple teams looking at some older candidates here.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it,
You
Ron.
go from the youth movement with the coordinators getting hired to, like, this guy's been there, done that. Mike McCarthy, obviously, with the Steelers.
Ron chilled for
Pittsburgh guy.
a little bit, a few years, collected his thoughts.
I love Ron Rivera.
I feel like something was going on with his wife. No, that was him. He was sick for a little bit. But either way, man, I like Ron. He's a disciplinarian. He knows guys in the league. I feel like he can put together a good staff. Ron, yeah, I'd appreciate that.
Also, like, look, I don't know if Ron is, like, definitively the answer there, but he had no quarterback with the Commanders. Or, like, quarterback injuries with the Commanders is what he dealt with a lot. Because that was Sam Howell's kind of coming out season of, like, he's the answer for us when they, like, clearly didn't believe it. New Falcons head coach Kevin Stefanski held his introductory press conference on Tuesday and was asked what his plan will be at quarterback.
I think with anything roster related, obviously we'll be hiring a general manager soon, and that's where I mentioned with Matt, the general manager, myself, we can put our heads together and look at our roster, and that includes every single position, not just the quarterback position. I will tell you, obviously, Michael is somebody I'm very excited about, and his rehab is what's most important right now. And I saw him in the training room this week. He's, as you can imagine, attacking his rehab. And then when it comes to Kirk, obviously I have a previous relationship with Kirk, but I don't know if it's the time yet to talk about all positions and those type of things, but those type of conversations conversations will come in due time.
I think what makes the Falcons bump so interesting to me is that they do have myriad weapons on offense, except for at the most important position, where while Michael Penix Jr. Is in Super Bowl 60. That's coming up. Also, Robert Turbin is going to join us at 1, and I need some questions for what I need to know. You can get those sent in anytime over the next hour. 866-979-3776. Obviously, Seahawks questions leading into Super Bowl 60, but any other sports questions about really anything. I miss getting advice questions. I'm not qualified to give advice to anyone about anything on the planet.
Yeah, you are.
But we will never see anything like the Reggie saga again.
Nah, that's going in bumping Stacy.
History.
Hall of
Lord,
Fame.
there was a period of about 3 days in a row where What I Need to Know was my favorite segment, and I looked forward to it so we can get updates from just one dude who was convinced, like, is this guy hitting on my wife?
Mm-hmm.
Should I be concerned? Anyways. So that's all coming up in the final hour. And then coming up next, the latest from Daniel Jeremiah on your home for the Super Bowl bound Seattle Seahawks, Seattle Sports, and the Seattle Sports app.
Holy smokes! For 40 years, he's been part of the soundtrack of summer across the Pacific Northwest.
The Griffeys with back-to-back home runs!
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports, congratulates Rick Riz.
Everybody scores!
Season 41 may be his last, but it promises to be one to remember.
Riz, the smoothest voice in the game. He deserves to go out on top.
Don't miss a minute of Rick Riz calling Mariners baseball on Seattle Sports.
Matt Coker here with West Coast Men's Health. In the past 5 years, we've seen thousands of men at our clinics. Most guys tell us the same story, that in their early 50s, it's not that they couldn't function, they just needed help. They started taking Viagra, and it worked great at first. But after a few years, it stopped working. The problem is that their arteries had become more restricted since they started taking it, because Viagra does not unclog arteries. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we use acoustic wave therapy to target the real problem. We break down plaque and clear up the arteries so blood can flow like it did in your 20s. This restores function. And guys, listen to this. You won't have to take a pill anymore. So if this sounds like you, give West Coast Men's Health a call today and see how we can help.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
This year's tax changes. Better not get caught snoozing. Miss one deduction, lose thousands. Not amusing.
Big tax changes can mean bigger refunds at Jackson Hewitt. And right now, get $100 just to try us.
Don't worry, tax filers. If money is tight, get $100 from Jackson Hewitt, so you'll sleep better at night.
Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from IQ Bar. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at eatiqbar.com/policy/terms of service.
Hi, I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, ultra-low sugar brain and body fuel. Our IQ Bar plant protein bars help you refuel smarter. Our IQ Mix Zero Sugar Hydration Mixes help you hydrate harder. And our IQ Joe Instant Mushroom Coffees help you caffeinate larger. All three product lines boost physical performance, but they also boost mental performance via nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane. Right now, you can try our epic IQ Bar Ultimate Sampler Pack with 9 protein bars, 8 hydration mixes, and 4 coffee sticks. Win your day with clean ingredients, amazing taste, and superior brain and body nutrition. Try IQ Bar today.
Get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping when you text IQ Bar to 64,000. Text IQ Bar to 64,000 to get this exclusive radio offer. That's IQ Bar to 64,000.
Do you like helping others? Become a Shiva volunteer. In Skagit County, join the hundreds of volunteers across Washington state who help over 90,000 people each year with their Medicare options and questions. You don't have to know Medicare. We'll teach you. And if you're bilingual, even better. For more information and how to apply, call Shiva at 1-800-562-6900 or go to insurance.wa.gov.
Sponsored by the Office of the Insurance Commissioner and aired by the Washington State Association of Broadcasters and this station.
The Mariners fix you need during the offseason.
Fans are on their feet and listen to this.
The Uncruise Adventures Hot Stove, Tuesday nights at 7 on Seattle Sports.
The new year is finally here, and you could kick the new year off right by getting in shape and making Top Fitness your first stop. Hey, Brock Hewitt here with my friends at Top Fitness, where their stores are celebrating the new year with some great deals. You could take your New Year's resolution seriously with the very best fitness gear there is set up in your home by our professional installers. They sell the best quality products available. Brands like Precor, True, Octane, Inspire, and Hyrox. Come in now and check out the best deal of deals on treadmills. They're Precor 885 treadmills that are lease returns normally sell for over $13,000, now only $36.99, including a full 3-year warranty. This is the same commercial treadmill sold to health clubs worldwide. And every new treadmill, elliptical, and home gym, well, they're all on sale. They got the largest selection of home fitness equipment in Washington, and their staff will show you why. It's no secret why everybody from pro athletes to personal trainers love their stores. Locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or visit topfitness.com for more info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
Dave Wyman here, joined by Dr. Landis from Swedish Cyberknife to talk about prostate cancer treatments. Dr. Landis, how does Cyberknife compare to surgery?
Patients who have surgery often do have to be hospitalized for a few days and have to take time off of work. They can have a catheter, they have a wound that's healing, whereas with Cyberknife, patients often don't have to take a break from work at all.
And Cyberknife is an outpatient, non-invasive treatment?
Essentially, it's a 5-day treatment, about 30 minutes per day. You walk in, you walk out, you essentially don't feel anything at all during treatment. Many patients still work full-time while they're having treatment.
5 days total, less than an hour a day to treat prostate cancer. That really is amazing. It's almost too good to be true. What do patients say after treatment?
They tell me it's like Star Trek, where you push a button and the cancer can go away.
If you, a friend, or a family member is diagnosed with prostate cancer, consider treatment with Swedish Cyberknife. Go to swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Robert Turbin hopping on with us in about 15 minutes. Before we get to that, the latest from Daniel Jeremiah, who was on with Brock and Salk. First, what an executive from a contender told him about the Seattle Seahawks.
I went out to dinner last night with a buddy who's he's the director of player personnel, assistant GM for another, perennial stud team. And I said, what's the lesson we can take away from Seattle? And he talked about, having the courage to bring in Sam, making a bold move at quarterback, and how important that was. That was one of the first things he mentioned. It was kind of what you were talking about last week of, not just the additions, but the guys going out in terms of, DK not being the perfect fit for him, having the bold, that's a bold move to move on from him. And then he just talked about the overall, depth and physicality along the line of scrimmage.
Yes, for sure. The second. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the first was the most interesting, though. The courage to make bold moves.
Yeah, you got to have the courage. Leadership is tough, man, because you have to make decisions that people aren't going to understand, and that people aren't going to like, too. And it's almost like the ones that people don't understand or don't like, they want you to justify it, too. Why did you make this move?
Yeah.
And really, you don't have to justify anything to anybody. I'm the decision maker. This is what I got to do. Like my mom said, go do this. I'm like, why? I hardly say why. They'll never question my mom. But she'll be like, because I said so. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go do that. But, yeah, you got to have a vision. You got to have a philosophy that you believe in and adhere to. And sometimes it makes sense to you, and sometimes it doesn't make sense to other people.
NFL's a copycat league, so what trends might emerge from Seattle?
Okay, what's going to be the trend that comes off of this team? Like watching this team, how is this going to catch on around the league? And one of the first things I jotted down was teams are going to start going, we need some tight ends who can block. We're going to get some guys who can block at that position, and how much of a weapon those guys have been, 81 and 88 in the run game. Obviously having an elite, number one wide receiver. Not everybody can pull that off. But then it's having an offense that's able to bake in easy wins with explosive plays. So that's on That's on that side of the ball. And then on the defensive side of the ball, look, the back end wasn't perfect last week by any stretch, but the front has been consistent each and every week. And it seems like it's a different guy who's getting a big pressure, making a big play up front. So I think that overall depth up front.
Tight ends who can block. I mean, depth up front, yeah, that's kind of something every single team is always looking for.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like this like horseshoe evolution of tight ends where there was Tony Gonzalez launching, then Gronk, Jimmy Graham, Travis Kelce, this evolution of like, oh my God, tight ends can have 1,000-yard receiving seasons, curving back around to, oh my God, everyone's using 12 and 13 personnel. Oh my God, now we need need complete tight ends who can block again.
Mm-hmm. But they're still evolving. They're still more elusive than we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Like take our dude Loveland the third, like baller, elusive. He moves different. They look different, but you're right. They are being asked to put hands on defensive ends a lot more because the offense has changed a bit. And it'll probably go back the other way, too, to where the game is spread open once again.
Yeah.
Just looking for matchups.
The play from last week's title game that displayed a shift from old Sam Darnold to new Sam Darnold.
There was one play in this game that when I saw it live, it stood out to me, but then I went back and watched the tape, and it was like the clear example of the difference between young Sam and now this mature Sam. But if you remember, they're driving. He takes his eyes off the snap. The ball goes on the ground. Young Sam tries to scoop that ball up and tries to find a way to make some type of a play. And, there's probably a 10% chance it's something incredible, and there's a 90% chance that it would be something disastrous. And this mature Sam just immediately took the loss, fell on the ball, down's over, let's line it up and let's play the next down. And I thought that was such a kind of a little microcosm of the growth and the change in him as a player. He'll take sacks, but he's going to cover up the ball. He's not going to make it, he's not going to compound a negative play.
I thought that was an interesting answer.
Yeah, that's just taking the L. Sometimes plays just aren't going to work. And you trying to make something out of nothing just makes it an even bigger disaster, to where you have to accept that this play didn't work. Now let's get on to the next play and not compound this situation. And you see that a lot. Older players, what do old quarterbacks do? Get outside the pocket, throw it away. Cross the line of scrimmage, slide. Little things to save yourself and to save your team from being in a horrible situation. That shows maturity, and that's exactly where Sam is.
Okay, I want to ask you what you saw from Nick Emenwari against the Rams in this title game. Here's what DJ saw.
Another example of what we were just talking about on the offensive side of the ball was they had him isolated, and they had him set up to make a mistake. The Rams had a space play. You've got a chance to get him moving, get him leaning in one direction, beat him on an option route. And he was so composed and so patient and just I'm going to sit here. You can do all this stuff. I've just got my eyes, just like we're playing Pop Warner football. I've got my eyes on your belly button, and I'm not going to fall for any of this stuff. I'm going to wait till you break, and then I'm going to drive and make a play on the ball.
Said Rams tried to bait Nick Emenwari into making mistakes, but he didn't bite.
No, he did a good job. He was very patient. Because you have to believe your eyes, right? You can't just not react to things, but you got to wait till the ball is out. You got to wait until the ball is handed off. And it's easier said than done, because that's what offenses try to do. They just try to bait you. Take a step to the right when we're going left. Take a step forward when we're going deep. And that shows me that, one, the coaches got Nick Emenwari ready for it, and the film study. He was watching film, saw himself, corrected some mistakes, and was the highest graded defender on the field that night.
All right, let's talk about the Patriots. Here's Daniel Jeremiah on what he sees from New England.
Opportunistic, extremely well coached, and I'll give you two examples here.
Because they knocked the Chargers out, right? And
I was there, and it's one of those deals where I'm sure there's been other people, and the Broncos would be the same way. Is that you go into, the game's over, and you're walking to your car going, I don't know that they're that good, and then you're like, well, they beat us. And they kind of, they've done that throughout this entire season with what they've been able to accomplish.
Opportunistic is an incredible trait to have as a team.
Yeah.
Incredible trait to have as a team.
Opportunistic. Derek Young got opportunity to jump on that muff punt.
Mm-hmm.
This, life is full of opportunities, Stacy, and you must take advantage of every one. So a muff punt, opportunity, take advantage of it. Offense got a short field, opportunity, take advantage of it. Full of opportunities.
Also, it reminds me of, now they were not touching where like the Bears were. In fact, in total takeaways, the New England Patriots were, I would say, rounding in the top of the second half of the league, if that makes sense. Like around the middle, like they had 19 total takeaways. Did struggle with some giveaways, not the most exceptional point differential. But when I think opportunistic, I think of a team that may not be as good on paper that seizes takeaways. So I do think of the Chicago Bears. Again, I mentioned that the Patriots were not touching their total takeaways. The Bears had 33. These are two different defenses. But I think of, if you have to win by being the best version of yourself and hoping for mistakes from someone else, well, Seattle can make mistakes.
Yeah.
Seattle's a team that's made mistakes before. Thankfully, they have played teams. Now, they've made mistakes against very good teams like the Rams, and it hasn't mattered. They've also made mistakes against bad teams like Tennessee, and it didn't matter because that team was so bad that you were able to overcome that and get through. Yeah. You don't want to make mistakes in the Super Bowl. You don't.
No. And the Hawks are 1, 2, 3, 4. They're like top 6 when it comes to total takeaways. They're the only team in the red when it comes to differential. Ooh. The only team in the red. So typically the Hawks will give you opportunities, but the last 2 they have not. So let's keep that rolling.
Okay. Talking a bit of Patriots, certainly Seahawks, Super Bowl with Robert Turbin next on your home for the Super Bowl bound Seattle Seahawks, Seattle Sports, and the Seattle Sports app.
The first place where Tom Brady weighed in on Bill Belichick's Hall of Fame snub.
I don't understand it.
Seattle Sports with Brock and Salk.
If he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, there's really no coach that should ever be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's incredible. There's no coach I'd ever want to play for. I'd rather play for. If I'm picking one coach to go out there to win a Super Bowl, give me one season, I'm taking Bill Belichick.
Watch the full conversation with a 7-time Super Bowl champ on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
After years of football and the injuries that go with it, my first thought was always go get surgery. Hey, it's Dave Wyman, but after a consultation with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine, my eyes were open to an alternative to surgery, and I'm talking about stem cell therapy. Well, and my buddy and co-host Bob Stelton, also in pain, and decided to go see Dr. Wagner.
I had a hip issue from 14 years of jiu-jitsu.
How's the pain now?
Everything I did before, I can do just as well. Hitting the heavy bag, sparring, rolling, all of that is back in play. This whole thing has been such a pleasant surprise because I really was of the mindset, I'm going to have to go under the knife. I'm going to have to get surgery. And this really saved me from that. I could not be happier with the results.
Whether it's a hip like Bob had, a shoulder, a knee, a wrist, an ankle, before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine.
Do it. You will not regret it.
Hey, get the facts, hear from all the patients I've talked to, and schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
I'm Chris Davis, former King County prosecutor and founder of the Davis Law Group in Seattle. If you've been injured in a crash caused by impaired or drunk drivers, there are special considerations that need to be taken to protect your legal rights. Davis Law Group's team of investigators and lawyers know how to properly investigate DUI crashes and identify all parties who might be legally responsible for your injuries and damages. Call Davis Law Group at 206-888-8888 or get my free book at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Gear up for the big game at Simply Seattle. Shop official Seahawks playoffs gear and custom Simply original designs. Shop in-store or online and enter to win a $1,000 shopping spree now at simplyseattle.com. What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Progressive Insurance knows pets, and one of the biggest differences between people and pets is that we don't eat things off the floor. But dogs definitely will, and it makes them so happy, no matter what it looks like, smells like, or what state of decomposition it's in. We all want to go through life that carefree, and that's also why you should get Progressive Pet Insurance, because they eat things off the floor. So protect your pet from all the questionable life decisions they make. You know where they drink from when you're gone, right? Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Covered subject to policy terms and conditions.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Brian's headed to the basketball court, but he's sick of this check engine light. So he goes to AutoZone for the free Fix Finder service,
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
where a friendly AutoZoner reads the light in just a few minutes and gives him a detailed report.
No big, just a loose gas cap.
And gets him to the court with a tight gas cap and tighter defense. The free Fix Finder service at AutoZone. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Taxes was waiting on the refund you needed yesterday.
All right, your car repair is going to run about $3,000.
Ugh.
Now Taxes is getting back on the road with TurboTax and Credit Karma, where you can get your refund up to 5 days faster and get personalized guidance to take every dollar further. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Deposit a federal refund into Credit Karma money account and early submission of refund data by IRS required. Terms apply. Banking services provided by MVB Bank, Inc. Member FDIC. Credit Karma is not a bank.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. JD Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store and online. And now, the more you buy, the more you save on beds, bases, and more. Plus, get free home delivery on most beds with base. Limited time. For JD Power 2025 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Check it out at a Sleep Number store today.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Giannis could be on the move. ESPN reporting the Milwaukee Bucks are now listening to trade offers for the two-time MVP. Milwaukee's currently tied for 11th in the East standings, and Giannis, sidelined with a calf injury, has been openly frustrated about team effort and chemistry. Bill Belichick not being elected into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in his first year of eligibility shocked everyone, including his former quarterback. Tom Brady told Brock and Salk this morning, quote, "I don't understand it. If he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, there's really no coach that ever should be a first ballot Hall of Famer."
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. The Seahawks are headed to Super Bowl 60 to take on the Patriots. So let's talk to someone who's been in and played in Super Bowls before. It's Robert Turbin on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Turbo, how's it going?
Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm doing good. Thanks for having me today.
We are happy to have you. I love having you on, not just to ask you about the team, but to ask you about what it's like to be in an actual Super Bowl. Now, we know in Super Bowl 48, you had 9 carries, which is it's just insane thinking about doing anything in front of millions and millions and millions of people watching. But did you guys treat it like, it's just any other game? Or could you feel leading into that one that it was different, just more fanfare? What was it like?
Yeah, you could definitely feel it. All the elements on the outside of the game is certainly heightened. The cameras, the people from coming to the game from all over the world, your family even, more people want to go to the game, and you got to deal with tickets and all the things to get as many people there as possible that you can. But it's all positive. Sometimes it can seem like it's a distraction, but really it makes for what is, one of the biggest events that we have in the U.S., and that's the Super Bowl.
What was the lead up like for you, Turbo? Like practice? I mean, did Pete cut down on some things? Did he ramp things up? What was his approach?
Yeah, the first week we kind of toned things down just a bit. I mean, we wanted to treat the bye week like it was a game week, and so we still did our normal practices, competition Wednesday, et cetera, et cetera. But then, once we finished up Friday, we got the weekend off, and we were able to kind of just get some downtime. And then, and then we traveled on Sunday, to head out both to New York and Arizona for both the Super Bowls that we were in. And then, the week of the Super Bowl, actually, Bump, it's kind of weird because everything is structured, and it just feels, somewhat different than what your normal routine would be, on a day-to-day basis in terms of getting to the facility and, getting your physical therapy and getting your ice or steam or whatever it is that you're trying to do, your stretch, because you're in a different area. And so you're trying to, locate things in, and then your whole day is kind of structured, right? You get this itinerary for what you're supposed to do the entire week, where you're supposed to go, whether it's a team event or an individual event, et cetera, when you're going to have some downtime with your family. And so the first part of the week, honestly, Bump, it takes some getting used to, but I think by Wednesday or Thursday, you sort of have a good flow of things, and you're able to better get prepared for the game Sunday.
I'm not expecting a low-scoring game between the Seahawks and Patriots next Sunday. I don't know that I'm expecting this version of the Seahawks to drop 40-plus in the Super Bowl the way you guys did. When did you know in Super Bowl 48? When did you truly feel in your gut that you guys had won the game?
It might have been, honestly, after the safety, the
2
start
seconds
of the game. I'll tell you what, like when I watched the Niner game in the divisional round, and Rashid Shaheed took the opening kickoff to the house, I'm like, game's over. I mean, it's over because, first of all, now the 12s are involved, so it's hard to beat them, once they're engaged, and the team plays so good with momentum behind it. We were like that. I think this version of the Seahawks are like that, and so when I think back at the opening, offensive play for the Broncos being a safety, it was just kind of like, man, we have, because we felt like, I mean, gosh, you guys are so nervous you can't even get the snap off, So we kind of felt like we not necessarily had it in the bag, but we certainly felt like we had an advantage from that moment on.
What did you like most about the game plan, and how closely did it resemble what you guys did during the regular season?
The game plan was super basic for us, Bump. It was so funny, and I remember even talking to Cam Chancellor. Obviously, he was on the defensive side of the ball prior to the game. We just at practice, just kind of chopping it up. I'm an offensive guy. And so, obviously, I think about things a little bit differently. And Cam, I remember he told me, he was like, man, these guys ain't going to be able to get nothing on us. And I told him, I said, I'm like, how can you say that when you're playing against Peyton Manning? But he was so serious. And it was like, look, we have a simple game plan. We're going to do what we do. But because of what they do offensively, it just fits, kind of just falls into our lap and fits to what we do well. And we felt like that on the offensive side of the ball too. Like we didn't really have to install all of these new, gadget type plays or do anything out of the ordinary. We were going to run outside zone. We were going to run play action off of it. And we were going to get Doug Baldwin and those guys open down the field. And that's exactly what happened. We beat them with physicality at their own game.
Does it ever matter to you guys if you're favored or underdogs going into a game? Like you guys, it was seen as kind of a toss-up for 48. It's like number one defense, number one offense. If anything, maybe Seattle's defense should have felt slighted that they weren't more favored. But I think a lot of people saw it as like you really don't know. Seahawks are already nearly a 5-point favorite in this one. Is there ever a disadvantage to someone saying like, oh, you've got this heading into the Super Bowl?
No, not really. Not in the Super Bowl game because you go into the game feeling like, with respect, you're evenly matched anyway. So you may be confident on one side or the other. I just told you the story about, Cam Chancellor and how he felt about the Broncos offense going into that first Super Bowl. But at the end of the day, you go into the game kind of on an even plane. And so whoever's favored and who's not doesn't really impact our mindset at all.
Yeah, it's I would assume when a team gets to that point, that your confidence has to be at an all-time high. No matter who you're playing against, the Broncos or whoever. What was it like mentally going into that game? I mean, did you feel like there was no way this team was going to beat you? Have you brainwashed yourself to believe that? Did you actually believe it? Like, what was the mental going in?
The mindset is like, this is it. This is the one game that I've been dreaming of my entire life. I can't tell you how many Super Bowls I've won on Madden. And so, to have it in front of me in real life, it almost doesn't even seem like it's for real. And so the important thing is you have to be able to compartmentalize and eliminate the distractions, okay? Because everybody is going to want your attention, during the Super Bowl, during that week. And you have to, you got to tell your family, like, look, you guys have come to many, many games throughout the season. You know my routine. You know how I like to lock in, and it's got to be that same way, even at the Super Bowl. And that's the most challenging part, from a mental standpoint, man. But, when you get on that bus and you get to the stadium and you look around the stands and you just see, I mean, even before the game starts, Bump, I mean, there's so many people. It feels like it's already in the fourth quarter. It's like it's magical. And so it's just like, man, this is the game. This is what I did all of this, all the Pop Warner football and high school and everything, just to be here one day. And so it's a really special opportunity.
Now, I do have a real question about the Super Bowl, but before I get to it, you mentioned I've won so many Super Bowls on Madden, and one thing I've learned as someone who doesn't play Madden, I don't play. I've tried a little bit. I'm just not interested. But I didn't know that that dudes just make background stories when you play Madden, and I was going to ask you what your background story is. For instance, Bump, your story when you play Madden, like in your head, is
from the trenches.
From the trenches.
From the trenches.
From the trenches, yeah. Because I don't know, Bump, you might have to help me out because I haven't. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I ain't played Madden since like 2016 or something like that. And so whatever new like features that they have, story modes and stuff like that, I'm past it, man.
No.
I don't even know.
Turbo, the reason I was making fun of them is there is no story mode. Bump and Curtis and my sister's boyfriend, Dennis, they all have different stories that, like, they tell themselves when they're playing.
Right.
I was like, wait, guys just do this? And Bump was like, yeah, guys do this.
Yeah. Oh, they do. Like I was the underdog story. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I was the guy. I was counted out. And you know what I would do, Stace? I would always like when I would create a player, because you create a player, that's what you do, okay? And I would always make sure that I would go to the team that had never won the Super Bowl in the history of their franchise. In franchise history, I would always make sure I played for a team. This is a true story. Growing up, I always make sure that I went to a team that had never won a Super Bowl in franchise history. So it's kind of ironic that in real life, I get drafted to a team and end up being a part of a team that wins their first Super Bowl in franchise history. So, hey, listen, you might make fun of Madden, but you can speak things into existence.
You know what, Turbo, you're right. It led to a real thing. You were part of a team that did bring this Seahawks team its very first Lombardi. Okay, now I'm getting to my real question. Okay, so speaking of that game, you had 9 carries. Carry number 1, carry number 9. Did they feel different? Like, are you feeling the weight of a Super Bowl with the first time you touch the ball?
They do feel different. I'll be honest, because carry number 1, you might not. I don't even know if I saw what I was doing. I just got the ball and I just got the ball and I just ran. Okay, you get a couple carries in there, things start to slow down for you. And 9, carry number 9 feels a lot different. And I'll be honest with you guys, it's certainly it's tougher, coming in as a backup or a spell guy, too, because it's just like, man, you really have to take advantage of your opportunity, because you're playing behind a Hall of Famer. And so sometimes that makes you rush a little bit. So I would think that those first couple carries, I was rushing for sure, but then it slowed down for me once I got a few more opportunities after that.
Hey, here's a good question from the text line. Turbo 360 says, how much does the long halftime change the normal routine?
That's a great question. It actually, I think guys actually embrace it more because during the regular season, you feel like halftime, you don't get enough time. You're like, dang, halftime is over already. We didn't even have time to really talk about anything, you know? And so I think guys really embrace it. It's interesting, though, because some halftimes go a little longer than others. I remember the one in Arizona. We like, okay, you know, they need to wrap this up. This is getting a little bit ridiculous. So it does change your routine a little bit in terms of, you know, sometimes you may come out a little lethargic because you've been in the locker room so long.
All right, let's talk about this year's Seahawks team. What's your confidence level in them heading into this one against the Patriots?
Oh, it's super high. I think we're going to blow them out.
Hell yeah, Turbo. Okay, tell me what you like about them.
Well, I just think they're complete.
Yeah.
I just, you know, I mean, it's just like when people ask me about Marshawn, for instance, Stacy, they're like, oh, what do you like about Marshawn? I said, man, you know, because I've been playing, running back was my favorite position forever. So I was always so locked in at, like, you know, LaDainian Tomlinson and Barry Sanders and Walter Payton, on and on and on. And, like, what made these guys so great? It's just like Marshawn had no weaknesses. I mean, you watch him play, and what could he not do? Can't name it. He could run block if he wanted to as a fullback. You know, he could run routes as a wide receiver if he wanted him to on the outside or in the slot. Like, he just do everything. He was just as strong to his left side as his right. So when I look at the Seahawks, it's just like, all right, well, show me where the weakness is, because I don't see it. And so they're more complete to me. It's just like every team has maybe like, oh, you know, the D tackle, like the Rams. We knew their corner sucked, and you know their special teams weren't great. They got weaknesses, all right? Seahawks, it doesn't exist with them this season, and so that's why I'm so confident.
Hey, I haven't spoke to you too much this year, Turbo. So this is a question that I've asked a lot of people. But when do you start believing in Sam Darnold and his ability to get this team to the promised land?
When did I start believing in him?
Yeah.
I would say more like second half of the season, you know, to put it in general terms. You know, I just thought he just started to perform better overall as the season progressed. A lot of people like to point to the turnovers. Like, even when you turn the television on now, like, turnovers, just like, I can't remember the last time he had one, to be honest with you, you know, to me. So that's improvement. And then I just look at, like, you know, from a personality standpoint, you know, like just his overall approach to the game, his attitude, you know, leadership. I think that's a lot of the reason why he's improved and gotten better, and why, you know, the team is, you know, really embraced him as the captain of the ship. But yeah, I would say like that last quarter of the year is really, for me, when I was not only bought into him, but to be honest with you, but also bought into the team as a whole. Because I'll be honest, I mean, for a long time, for a majority of the season, I thought it was Rams, Niners, Seahawks in that order. That's the truth. Okay, you can say what you want, but they were the team that kept getting better, while the other ones were regressing, in my opinion, and that's been the difference.
All right, former Seahawk Super Bowl champion and current NFL analyst Robert Turbin, kind enough to join us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline to preview this one. Thanks, Turbo.
Thanks, Turbo.
Thank you, guys. Peace.
Have a good one. Gear up for the big game at Simply Seattle. Shop official Seahawks playoff gear and custom Simply Seattle original designs. Shop in-store or online and enter to win a $1,000 shopping spree now at simplyseattle.com. Let's get to 4 Down Territory.
This is 4 Down Territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
I like that the listener who wanted to know from Turbo whether the long halftime changes anything said, dang, I can see why you guys get excited about someone saying great question. That just made me feel so good.
Right?
Now, you feel like a Labrador
Validated.
Retriever getting pat on the head.
Stacy got a great question from Dan Wilson yesterday.
I felt, really, it's like you're like a little kid and you're like, wow, thanks. Gee, mister.
I felt like if you could in that moment, you would have looked at me and flipped your hair.
My hair's not even long enough anymore. Okay, first down. Why do you think the Hawks will get after Drake May in the Super Bowl?
He's been sacked 15 times in the regular season, 48 times. 50 times during the postseason, 48 times during the regular season. And Denver did it without really sending more than 4 guys, right? They would fake like they're sending 5, drop 1, send 4, and the tackles just weren't very great. And I'm looking at Denver's defensive line, got some ballers, but I would take our defensive line over theirs. And I feel like these guys with 2 weeks rest are just going to be ready to go and get after Drake May. He's elusive. You got to keep him inside the pocket. He can run a little bit, but just the tackles, I think you can win this battle.
2nd down. All right, you have to go through a lot of plays for this one. What is the biggest defensive play of the year?
I was sitting here really trying to think about this one.
There are a lot of choices.
There are a lot of choices. And I could say I'm going to go with, it's out of these 2. It's out of Spoon's final play in the end zone.
Yep.
And then it's out of that final play in San Francisco when they sacked Brock Purdy on 4th down. They didn't sack him, but they hit him. It was 4th down. They were manned up, and they hit him, and the game was essentially over.
Yeah, because you have a very different path.
Yeah, because if you lose that game, if they go down and drive, then things look different. And it was just cocky of them to go out and man and not blitz and say, let's get it. But then Spoon's play was like, if they catch that, they go, it's got to be Spoon's play.
It's got to be Spoon's play.
It's got to be Spoon's play. I was trying to find something throughout the regular season that kind of shifted things for me, but Kobe Bryant had 4 interceptions. You got Ernest with 6 of them things. You got Leo with 7 sacks. Byron Murphy with 6.5. There's so many places you can go, but that right there sealed the deal. Yeah, it's got to be Spoon.
Let's go to the other side. 3rd down. What was the biggest offensive play of the year?
Yeah, it wasn't a touchdown. It was on 2nd and 7, but it was just a big play. Sam Darnold finding Cooper Kupp for that 20-plus yard game, driving to win the football game. He stands in there. He gets hit under the chin by a defensive lineman. Cooper Kupp has a toe tap on the sideline. That right there showed the grit that I wish the rest of the country could have seen all year like we saw. But that, to me, that was the biggest play. That was, I ain't scared.
Yep.
And that's what we needed to see from Sam Darnold.
I love that answer because it's not only a great throw, great catch, great everything, critical situation, so good situational football, but it was the narrative. It fit meet the moment.
Yeah.
Well, that was a moment, right? This isn't the first quarter. This is you're going to win the game.
I like this one.
Yeah.
360 says Drake Thomas interception against the Niners.
Yes. Also a good answer.
Good
Now we're going
answer.
Family
Good
Feud
answer.
style. Someone said, by the way, that interview where they told Bump, great question, and then Stacy, when you asked the next question, he was like, sure, I guess I'll answer that. Still cracks me up. Curtis, do we still have that saved somewhere? Jim Bowden, when he was like, fine.
I gotta look for it.
Oh my God. That really hurt my feelings. I think because it was in that order is why it hurt my feelings, is like he told you a great question and then I genuinely tried.
How do you see this thing shaping up next year?
Oh, that's a great question. Yeah, I love that.
Would you mind going over what 1 or 2 of those, if you had the money, deals would look like for Seattle?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure.
So mean.
No.
It's the little, yeah. You can hear it. You can hear it.
Yes.
Okay, 4th down. We were joined earlier in the show from B. Walt, friend of Michael Bumpus, golf partner of Michael Bumpus. Anything stand out from that conversation?
Yeah, I'm going to flip it. I'm going to use B. Walt and Turbo.
And Turbo.
All right, so with B. Walt, what he said that kind of stuck out to me was, put it down. It's weird because he didn't feel like practice was too much different. And you listen to Turbo, and Turbo says it did feel different. So I don't know if that is because of the wideout position and the running back position. I don't know. But it's funny that you have 2 different guys, same team, with 2 totally different perspectives with, the lead up and what that was. And then Turbo talked about how it was so crowded on the sidelines. Because I remember being obviously I didn't play in the Super Bowl, but there's action on the sidelines before a game. But could you imagine how thick it was during the Super Bowl? I mean, and the people trying to get your attention. Before games, people were always trying to say hi and all that stuff. I can imagine during the Super Bowl, it's even that much more intense. And also, I love the way Turbo described his first carry versus his last carry.
Yeah.
Like, that first carry, you are so amped up. Like, you just black out. I've been in plays, and again, never played in Super Bowl, where I'm so amped up that things happen so fast, I don't even know what happened. I'm just reacting. So I can imagine Turbo just hitting the A-gap and going. And then his last one being more composed and feeling the game. It slowed down a bit for him. It's such a privilege, man, to play in the Super Bowl. Like, the Super Bowl. I got a kid who I coach, it's playing in the Super Bowl, and it blows my mind, man. It's so hard to get there. You got to get so lucky. You got to have a good team, good organization. The coaches got to be on point, the chemistry. So many things have to happen for a team to get here. So I hope that the 12s not are grateful, but just
Soaking
realize how special it is, because it's been a while. In 2013 or 14, 15, I thought, man, these dudes are going at least 2 or 3 more times for the next 5 years.
Honestly, on paper, they could have.
Yeah, but things happen, man. So enjoy it, man. Soak it in. Your team is in the Super Bowl. It's crazy.
And your white son is in the Super Bowl.
And my white son is in the Super Bowl.
Do you remember
Hey, we got to interview him. We got to get him on our show when we're down there.
Do you remember your very, very first NFL snap?
Yes. It was a punt return.
What about on offense? Do you remember that?
Yes. It was I just ran an arrow. I did not get the football, but I ran an arrow.
How
and
dare Matt?
It was like you snap the ball, and it happened so fast because that's my first snap in the NFL. I've practiced with these guys. Practice is different. It was so fast out there. I mean, I felt good, but I'm like, yeah, this is definitely Pac-12 football.
Yeah.
It's different.
Very different. Get your questions in for What I Need to Know coming up at 45 after 866-979-3776. That's on your home for the Super Bowl bound Seahawks, Seattle Sports, and the Seattle Sports app.
The first place where Tom Brady weighed in on Bill Belichick's Hall of Fame snub.
I don't understand it.
Seattle Sports with Brock and Salk.
If he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, there's really no coach that should ever be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's incredible. There's no coach I'd ever want to play for. I'd rather play for. If I'm picking one coach to go out there to win a Super Bowl, give me one season, I'm taking Bill Belichick.
Watch the full conversation with a 7-time Super Bowl champ on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
To me, the LJ way is to provide an experience that people really enjoy being a part of.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from IQ Bar. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at eatiqbar.com/policy/terms of service.
Hi, I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, ultra-low sugar brain and body fuel. Our IQ Bar plant protein bars help you refuel smarter. Our IQ Mix Zero Sugar Hydration Mixes help you hydrate harder. And our IQ Joe Instant Mushroom Coffees help you caffeinate larger. All 3 product lines boost physical performance, but they also boost mental performance via nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane. Right now, you can try our epic IQ Bar Ultimate Sampler Pack with 9 protein bars, 8 hydration mixes, and 4 coffee sticks. Win your day with clean ingredients, amazing taste, and superior brain and body nutrition. Try IQ Bar today.
Get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping when you text IQ Bar to 64,000. Text IQ Bar to 64,000 to get this exclusive radio offer. That's IQ Bar to 64,000.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY, and I want to talk to you about football. It's exciting when Seattle fans shake the earth. You can even feel that energy on your 100-inch variable refresh QLED surround sound 7.1. At 1-800-DUI-AWAY, we know that enjoying the game often involves alcohol. And the police know it too. Have fun, be responsible on game day, and pace yourself. If you feel sacked in the 4th quarter, get a designated driver to take you to your end zone. If you get carried away with too many Bloody Marys after too many Hail Marys, call for a timeout. You get the point. Be safe. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com. Watching the game in your blue and green jersey is a lot more fun than wearing an orange jumpsuit.
1-800-DUI-AWAY.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing a lawyer, but getting some guy who just watches courtroom dramas.
How does the defendant plead?
Guilty. Wait, what? Also, objection.
You object to what?
Erroneous.
Counsel, approach the bench.
Hey, can I get a whack at the gavel?
You wouldn't settle for just any lawyer, so don't settle for just any insurance. Get the real deal with State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, I'm Michael from the Warren Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
Guys, your New Year goals start now. Get limited time savings on our most popular treatments at Revive Men's Health. Visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com to see if you qualify to save hundreds.
And the Seahawks are going back to the Super Bowl.
Home of the Seahawks in Super Bowl 60. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. JD Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store and online. And now, the more you buy, the more you save on beds, bases, and more. Plus, get free home delivery on most beds with base. Limited time. For JD Power 2025 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Check it out at a Sleep Number store today.
This year's tax changes. Better not get caught snoozing. Miss one deduction, lose thousands. Not amusing.
Big tax changes can mean bigger refunds at Jackson Hewitt. And right now, get $100 just to try us.
Don't worry, tax filers. If money is tight, get $100 from Jackson Hewitt, so you'll sleep better at night.
Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Look, I am going to get to more relevant information, but well, if there isn't something going against you, Curtis, and you, Bump, and your conspiracy theory about the substation, you guys have been all in on this, these electrical currents as hurting the 49ers and being behind those injuries. However, I'm guiding Curtis's conspiracy corner this time around. Curtis, listen.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let me, before you get from Fred Warner, who plays for the 49ers, he said, and I quote on the St. Brown podcast, there's a lot of mixed reviews about it, but at the end of the day, when you look at the actual data behind if it's real or not, I think it's false.
What's the data?
He said,
show us your numbers.
He said, I'll be the first to tell you. Fred said, I train year-round at our facility. I'm not going to sit here and say a substation was the reason I got my ankle broken in half. That was a fluke injury. And before that, I'd only missed one game. I missed one game due to a fluke hamstring where I stepped wrong. And I've been super healthy plus for 7 years. That substation may even have given me superpowers. Wow.
Hey, Fred, what's a common link between your injuries? They're all muscle tears. That's like the big thing that this whole thing's about.
We're not talking about broken ankles.
Yeah. We're talking about deteriorating tissue.
Exactly. So, Fred, shut your mouth.
Well,
shut your mouth when you talk to me.
I'm just saying there's some more science coming out.
What science? Fred is going off of straight vibes.
And experience. That's called anecdotal evidence. And,
Stacy, I just want to know, are you even going to set foot in Santa Clara when we're down there next week? You talk about how this is nothing. I want to see you go up to the substation, stand in front of it for like 5 minutes.
You know what? Let's take a field trip. I would love to do that.
I think the substation might be the most famous thing going right there.
I'll step inside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll step inside.
I'll step inside. Would love to. Would love to. This reminds me of two things. One, Chernobyl. Two, and Aaron Brockovich when they are obviously filing the lawsuit against them. And then it's like all the lawyers in the meeting room. And then they're like, oh, by the way, this water is from the facility that you guys are poisoning.
The DuPont water
Yeah.
facility.
Such a good movie. And true story, obviously. That's not what I was talking about here, but I saw that and I immediately was like, it's not over. Okay? More evidence is coming out that maybe the substation, there's nothing to be said here. What I am going to be upset about is if when we go to Santa Clara, we go to the substation and then I like injure myself. I'm going to be devastated.
I mean, you have a high injury risk.
No, I don't.
You're
No,
a
I
fall
don't.
risk at all times.
It's not true. I fell one
You
time.
said she got a high injury risk?
No,
Just by existing.
No, I've never broken a bone. I've never torn a
You
ligament.
dislocated your elbow.
You fell
Yeah, but that was during
out in
an
a parking
activity.
lot
I was playing the
Up
floor
the
is lava.
stairs.
I was wearing socks on carpet. A lot of people can have that happen. It happens to good people every day. Why the Seahawks are favorite in Super Bowl 60, Daniel Jeremiah said 20 of the 30 best players in the Super Bowl are on one team.
And Drake May, while he hasn't played well, he's made fewer mistakes than every quarterback they've played in the postseason. So that's kind of been their key. But if you took the top 30 players playing in the Super Bowl, I would say 20 of them probably are Seahawks, 18 to 20 of them. And then you look at the three guys for New England that you have to worry about who could try and take over a game. It's May, using his legs more than anything else. It's the corner in Gonzalez, who's a great player. And then Milton Williams, and specifically Milton Williams on Bradford would be for 2 weeks. I'd be studying how to not let that beat me in this game.
Yeah, there are players you absolutely need to watch. I mean, there's 2 teams remaining in the NFL this season. That's one of them. They didn't get there by accident. But you're favored because, according to Daniel Jeremiah, you just have the better team, better players.
Yeah, you got the squad. You do. But, man, respect the opponent, But
Trying to remind yourself.
Yeah, but there's no reason for them to lose this game unless they just play horribly, unless everything that could go wrong goes wrong. They are, I don't want to diss Vrabel and say they're better coached, but they're well coached, clearly. They have the better defense. Offensively is a bit weird because Drake May's having a better season than Stafford. Diggs is a number 1 receiver, not as good as JSN. I think they might be a little deeper in talent at receiver because they got Booty and they have Kyle Williams over there. But it's just our best is like 2 of their receivers, you know what I mean? And they do have a good tight end in Hunter Henry over there. But I like our group. The edge is clearly on the defensive side of the ball, though. That's where it comes in.
The reason I want to talk about this is also a question that I asked Robert Turbin, which is, does it matter? Like, I was wondering if there's almost a disadvantage to being told over and over and over again, you should win a game. Like, if somehow that causes any level of oversight or overconfidence or anything. And Turbo said, look, when you're in the Super Bowl, it doesn't matter what anyone says. Mm-hmm. Both of these teams are going in thinking I'm going to win. But what do you think? Is there some kind of disadvantage in any way to this Seahawks team being so heavily favored? It doesn't look like former Seahawks Super Bowl teams we've seen.
Is it a disadvantage that they're
yeah,
so
like
heavily?
is it at all a disadvantage?
No,
Does it make you overlook something?
No, no. These guys are too focused. Mm-hmm. And I think no matter who's going to line up on the other side, they think they're the best team in the world. And they probably are the best team in the world. So you have to feel like that going into it. You have to feel like you're going to win this ball game. As soon as doubt creeps into your mind, man, it becomes real. And I don't think this team walks around with any kind of doubt. I mean, we talk to these dudes. We're around them. Ain't no doubt out of Chinna. Ain't no doubt out of Jay Reed. Yeah. Ain't no doubt out of Jay Love. And those are 3 different dudes personality-wise. You know what I mean? And it all feels the same.
Someone said there are no issues with electromagnetic or corona affecting people near a substation. I work in them. I feel like you guys keep getting faced with more and more evidence and stories and keep pushing back.
Someone texted in and said, my daughter wanted me to ask you if you could take your hat off. She's 6. All right, you better be on the stream. Ready?
Wow.
Yeah. Look at it.
That's a head made for TV right there.
Maybe she was sick of the Dodgers. I like throwing in she's 6.
She's 6.
She's 6. So don't be a jerk, Bob. Don't be a jerk.
Hey, bum love the kids. Bum love the kids.
That was kind of you. Let's see. I had, this is a question that I was getting earlier, is just the idea of like, there are people that think, not that it's too good to be true. I think there are people going, I don't like being so confident heading into a Super Bowl. They feel like it's bad luck, bad juju, bad hubris, that it'll cause some kind of mistake. The last time we were talking about this team in a Super Bowl, they were going against Tom Brady and the Patriots. The time before that, they were going against the #1 scoring offense in football. By the way, no one's ever scored as many points per game in a season as that Denver offense at 36. So the very different teams they were facing. This Super Bowl, yeah, it's the Patriots. Easy schedule. Like, it's just, there's so many knocks that they're getting that I think what I'm trying to channel is fear or nervousness that some Seahawks fans have, feeling like, are you putting the cart before the horse?
Yeah. But I also think our confidence should somewhat reflect the confidence of our team, and these guys are. But, it's different because they actually have influence on the game, and we don't, and we'll be sitting here just observing like everybody else. But yeah, reflect the confidence of your team. So you should be confident. Mm-hmm. I believe they're going to get it done, but just don't be walking around being a what to other fans. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely don't.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Get your questions in for What I Need to Know. 866-979-3776. That's coming up next on your home for the Super Bowl bound Seahawks, Seattle Sports, and the Seattle Sports app.
Doubted.
More questions about Sam Darnold.
Underestimated.
I would say 10-7.
Questioned at every turn.
The question mark on this team is the offensive line.
Well, I think it was a swing and a miss week 1.
They're trying to find exactly who they are and what they are.
We did not care. It's about us. It's always been about us and what we do. And now we're going to the Super Bowl.
The only place you'll hear Steve Rabel call the Seahawks and Patriots in Super Bowl 60 is on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today. It's not just about better health. It's about a better life.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Sometimes even heroes need rescuing.
I'm a retired firefighter, 27 years.
Kurt had severe pain in his knees and his shoulder, which was keeping him from enjoying his well-deserved retirement.
Loved to ski, loved to fish, and couldn't even walk 18 holes.
That's why Kurt decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
He was just awesome. He goes, yeah, give me a shot. And he took care of me. He stemmed my knee and my shoulder.
And how are you feeling now?
I was pain-free in 12 weeks. I play golf now pain-free, and it's awesome.
So you'd recommend this treatment to others in your situation?
Absolutely. Yeah, Dr. Wagner's, he's had a couple people call me, and I recommended that they do it.
Before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
You know, this is one of those topics that no one really wants to think about, but if you're a parent, a homeowner, married, or helping take care of aging parents, it's something that honestly deserves a little attention. I'm talking about estate planning. And before you tune out thinking it's complicated or expensive, that's actually why I want to mention Trust and Will. Trust and Will makes estate planning feel way less intimidating than it sounds. They offer modern, attorney-designed wills and trusts that you can create online. And the process is surprisingly straightforward. In fact, you can create a will in as little as 30 minutes. That includes things like guardianship for your kids or pets, how your assets are distributed, and even healthcare directives. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your loved ones with Trust and Will, the most trusted name in online estate planning. Go to trustandwill.com/game to get 20% off. That's trustandwill.com/game for 20% off. trustandwill.com/GAME.
Gear up for the big game at Simply Seattle. Shop official Seahawks playoffs gear and custom Simply original designs. Shop in-store or online and enter to win a $1,000 shopping spree now at simplyseattle.com.
Olympic Hot Tub has terrific ways to achieve total wellness at home. Saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges, all waiting for you. See our current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
Home of the NFC champion Seahawks.
We are going to the Super Bowl.
Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
The Boat Show, the Boat Show, the Big Seattle Boat Show.
The Big Seattle Boat Show starts this Friday. It's the best time to buy with big selection, big discounts, and big fun for everyone. It's a big deal. Presented by Sundance Yachts and Port of Seattle. Make it a date Friday evenings with Boat Show After Dark, featuring unforgettable ambiance, music, food, beer, and wine. Details and discount tickets at seattleboatshow.com.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like rugs. People say a rug would really bring the room together. And sure, you don't know what that means, but it sounds important. Suddenly you're using words like jute and sisal. Then you see the price and lose it, because how can the thing you walk and spill on cost so much? So you devote your life to taking down Big Rug. But then you remember that switching your home and auto to Progressive could save you hundreds. So, looks like Big Rug is safe. For now. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
This year's tax changes. Better not get caught snoozing. Miss one deduction, lose thousands. Not amusing.
Big tax changes can mean bigger refunds at Jackson Hewitt. And right now, get $100 just to try us.
Don't worry, tax filers. If money is tight, get $100 from Jackson Hewitt, so you'll sleep better at night.
Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Georgetown License reminds parents to enroll your kids in a positive youth program. Sports, hobbies, and community activities improve overall health and performance in school. These programs decrease drug use and violence and develop self-discipline and leadership skills. Let's team together this year to help our kids reach their full potential. Best wishes to all our kids from the entire team at Georgetown License, taking care of all your vehicle and vessel licensing needs for over 30 years. Online at georgetownlicense.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776. Yes, I have Super Bowl ones. I also have this, What I Need to Know. What would your strategy be if you had to face, in the octagon, Bob Stelton?
Oh, man. Can't let him grab you. He's big. He's got reach. You know what? I just have to try to out-agility him. I feel like my knees are a bit less wear and tear on him. Try to hit and move. But you're not going to win that fight. He's trained.
Yeah.
That's like someone trying to line up against me who's never played DB before in their life. It's not going to work.
I would cry. I think Bob's a softie, and I think if someone started crying, he would feel bad. I think it's secretly, like, underneath it all. You know what I mean? Like, deep inside. I think that he'd be like, are you okay?
I think he would, too, honestly.
You know? He's like an animal lover. Like, I think if I started crying, he'd feel bad for me.
Right.
And then he'd let me out of the octagon. And that's how I'd escape. What I need to know. And we did not care. What I need to know, if indeed the Seahawks win, but Sam is efficient, but his stat line, isn't jaw-dropping. Let's say it's 250, a touchdown, no turnovers. Often quarterbacks get the MVP. Does Sam?
No, because Malcolm Smith got it in Super Bowl 48. Russ had, I think, like 1 or 2 touchdowns that game.
Yeah.
If that is his stat line,
yeah,
defense was balling.
Yeah.
Somebody on defense going to get it.
I think this is a Super Bowl where probably
someone on
defense.
What if you guys had to guess, let's say Seahawks win, so I'll take the Patriots out of it, and I know that sounds like bad juju, but I'm knocking on wood. This is all a hypothetical. Who would get it? If the Seahawks win this game playing the type of game you think they'll need to play to win, who's MVP?
Ernest Jones.
I think JSN might be a good pick.
Yeah.
'Cause he puts up numbers against everybody.
That's true.
It'd be cool to do it on the same team as Cooper Kupp, last receiver to get
That
MVP.
would be kind of cool. I changed my answer to JSN.
Who's the shortest of all the hosts?
Stacy. Easily.
I didn't like the attitude with that question.
I mean, if we're going male division, female.
I think you should go male division because it's
Female
almost
division, you're the tallest.
Mora. Oh, of hosts. Of
Yeah.
hosts. Yeah, that's true.
Male
Of the-
division, I'm the shortest.
Of all the female
You're
hosts.
shorter than Salk?
Oh, no, never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forgot about him.
Okay, so Mike Salk in the male division. Female division, I'm the tallest, smartest, fastest,
Well-
biggest, strongest.
But Shannon's not a host, but when Shannon's around, she got it.
Yeah, I'm taller than Shannon. Not by a ton. With the Super Bowl being so expensive to attend, what's the percentage of the stadium you actually think are going to be Seahawks fans?
20.
Yeah, it's mostly going to be corporate suits.
Told you.
I was gonna
Safeway,
say-
Nordstrom, Amazon.
Yeah.
You know.
It's not even like it's going to be, it'll be mostly Patriots fans. It's like what percentage of the stadium is even going to be fans? Genuinely fans that are getting tickets to go see the Super Bowl for their team versus celebrities or whoever. What I need to know, what's something that creeps you out on sight?
Snakes.
Spiders.
Yeah, don't do snakes.
Let's say like mice and rats.
Yeah, I don't like mice either.
Yeah. I think it's just that their eyes are so big relative to their bodies that you kind of feel bad for them.
I know.
Okay. Spiders, though? No, those are alien monsters and disgusting. And it's like I think about them and I can feel them crawling on me. What I need to know. What's the absolute coolest piece of sports memorabilia that you own, let's say?
That I own?
Or that someone you know owns, like where you're like, oh my God, that's amazing.
I don't own really a lot of sports memorabilia. All my stuff is mine. You know, like things I did. I don't know. Man, a signed Kobe jersey maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone said, I think Cooper Kupp gets MVP. 2-time Super Bowl MVP.
Mad at that.
Wow. The Seahawks jerseys for the Super Bowl are navy on navy. Why wouldn't the league let them wear the throwbacks?
It's a league rule.
It's dumb. You should be able to wear whatever you want.
Let's see what I need to know. I had one here that I lost. It was from yesterday, but I wanted to get to it. It was, what is the worst version of the thing that you love the most? So for instance, someone said like, I love bananas. That's their favorite fruit, but there's nothing worse than like a brown mushy banana. So something that you're like, I love this.
I love
But there is
burritos.
nothing worse.
I love carne asada burritos.
Yeah.
But if the meat just isn't tender enough.
Yeah, then it's like nothing worse than that, where you're like, now this is
Oh, where you have
disgusting.
to just chew and
Yeah,
chew
like
and
what's
chew.
what's the thing that turns something that you absolutely love into like the worst thing? I liked the question. I thought it was kind of fun.
I don't like it. Uncooked meat. Can't do it.
I was trying to think of all the things I love. Like I love ice cream. It's my favorite dessert.
What's the worst version of ice cream?
Oh, I don't like ice cream that has like alcohol, kind of like people love rum, whatever. I just
boozy
don't.
ice cream?
I don't like boozy ice cream. I just think it's just not it. It's not my jam. But that's not disgusting. I'll still eat the whole thing. You know, I'll still eat it. I can't think of it. I can't think of it yet. People will ruin hot dogs fast. I'll tell you that. That could be one. I don't know. If you think of your answer, let me know. What I need to know. Someone said McVay said the Seahawks got lucky in the win in his postgame. Did he say that? I would be surprised if he said that Seattle got lucky.
I don't think he said that.
Yeah, I don't know. What I need to know. Is Eli a good comp for Sam Darnold?
I think Sam is more talented than Eli. Honestly.
Why?
I think Sam's a better quarterback. I mean, Eli is going to have the numbers, better career. But
longevity.
Talent-wise, yeah, I think I'll take Sam.
What do you like about Sam over Eli? Like, what does he do better?
He's more mobile, has a stronger arm.
He can spin it.
He can spin that thing. He got that.
Eli threw him and Peyton threw a lot of ducks.
Yeah. Their arms just were not the strongest.
What I need to know. Oh, someone said gas station corn dog. Amazing when cooked right. Absolutely disgusting when overcooked.
Gas station corn.
If I eat anything from a gas station, I am starving. I am starving.
You know what, though? They have at gas stations, at 7-Elevens, which are sometimes not even gas stations, those like pizza breadsticks, essentially. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah. They have those at like Safeway, too.
Those are amazing.
In the deli.
Yeah, those are phenomenal. It reminds me of 7-Eleven. Like when I was younger, we used to go and get those. And it just the best. It's basically like a breadstick filled with pepperoni and pizza sauce and cheese.
What's weird is they don't sell those like in the freezer section.
Yeah, no, it's like where you have like the rotating hot dogs at the front. That's where you find those.
Okay.
They're so good. You know what? Gas station food might be okay.
It's cool. That's like last resort for me, though. Like I can't make it.
What's the best East Coast city? We're going to be facing one in the Super Bowl. Who gets your vote?
Miami.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes I forget the Southeast.
Miami all day.
Curtis, best East Coast city.
East Coast city. I've only been to like the New England area and Miami. So
I fear Boston was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll pick something in the Northeast.
But we can't do it. Can't do it.
Yeah, not this week.
I want to go. You know what?
DC.
Yeah, I like Knicks fans. I'll go to parts of New York. I think that could keep me away from Yankees fans, but everyone else.
Miami.
Cool with that.
Welcome to Miami. I gotta go.
Wyman and Bob coming up next on your home for the Super Bowl bound Seahawks, Seattle Sports, and the Seattle Sports app.
Holy smokes!
For 40 years, he's been part of the soundtrack of summer across the Pacific Northwest.
The Griffeys with back-to-back home runs!
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports, congratulates Rick Riz.
Everybody scores!
Season 41 may be his last, but it promises to be one to remember.
Riz, the smoothest voice in the game. He deserves to go out on top.
Don't miss a minute of Rick Riz calling Mariners baseball on Seattle Sports.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Well, this week's First Mark Challenge victory goes to Brandy Cruz. Hey, Brandy, why? Why First Mark Insurance?
Service. I wondered for a second whether I was getting the VIP treatment.
And I kind of asked, hey, is this what you do for everyone? And they're like, of course. The whole First Mark Challenge is meant to be personal, right? So it really is tailored and meant to be a personal experience for every single person. I will say I've just done whatever is the quickest and cheapest type of insurance. And I realized while I was doing it, wow, this is what it feels like to get insurance as a real adult. We had a million questions and they walked us through every step of the process. And then they're working for you. So they're not working for insurance companies, they're working for you. To experience that level of service really shows you what the difference is with First Mark.
Brandy did it. My family did it. You got to do it. It's totally free. Take the First Mark Challenge. See how much money they can save you and how much better your coverage will get. Maybe you will be our next First Mark Challenge victory. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from IQ Bar. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at eatiqbar.com/policy/terms of service.
Hi, I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, ultra-low sugar brain and body fuel. Our IQ Bar plant protein bars help you refuel smarter. Our IQ Mix Zero Sugar Hydration Mixes help you hydrate harder. And our IQ Joe Instant Mushroom Coffees help you caffeinate larger. All three product lines boost physical performance, but they also boost mental performance via nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane. Right now, you can try our epic IQ Bar Ultimate Sampler Pack with 9 protein bars, 8 hydration mixes, and 4 coffee sticks. Win your day with clean ingredients, amazing taste, and superior brain and body nutrition. Try IQ Bar today.
Get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping when you text IQ Bar to 64,000. Text IQ Bar to 64,000 to get this exclusive radio offer. That's IQ Bar to 64,000.
Here's what you can look forward to when you get your windows replaced. The whole house being way warmer and a lot quieter. Dave Wyman here, and when we had finally had it with our old windows with broken seals, we called Harley Exteriors. They were incredibly friendly, professional, and absolutely knew their stuff. Harley Exteriors windows are a massive upgrade. They keep heat in and noise out, plus they're truly gorgeous windows. I said, you guys must use a different type of glass, and sure enough, it's their Olympic series, which is manufactured here in the Pacific Northwest and exclusive to Harley Exteriors. Harley Exteriors has a special offer for Seattle sports fans. Buy one window and get the second 40% off. No payments or interest until 2027, and take an additional $200 off your project. Call 833-HARLEY or go to harleyexteriors.com.